Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Starlick Observatory. My name is Trip Starlick, and I'm here with my friends today to talk about the first half of the Dressrosa arc in One Piece. And oh my gosh, a lot happened in all of the reading that I did in the past 3 days. But first, thank you very much, Toto Hex, for the 15-month sluggling sub. The One Piece is real!
One Piece is real!
Thank you.
Definitely real at this point.
It's definitely real. It's a weighty book at this point. But yeah, it was a lot. I enjoyed it though, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Even if it was a lot. It's just a lot of concepts they were throwing down, but we'll get all into that today. For now, I didn't even introduce my friends. Do you want to introduce yourselves this time? Usually I do.
Shallow, it's Dr. Toto Hex, the smartest science turtle in your ocean mermaid.
Hey everyone, my name is Realm, Professor, Guide to the Stars, and local God Usopp enjoyer. Happy to be here.
Paper Dawn artist and also God Usopp enjoyer.
Hell yeah.
Wait, I want to add, I'm also a god Usopp.
Let's
go!
go!
Too late.
Wait, can I be a fourth god?
Follow me! Follow me, and I shall guide you. AKA, let me down before I punch you. It works out just the same.
So good.
It was great.
Oh gosh.
And I was happy. Yeah, one thing, I was happy to see more Usopp because I feel like Usopp was just like kind of there in the previous two arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. I don't even know where to get started. Dressrosa is complicated. They go there because they have a secret plan, but nobody follows the plan. And
yeah,
I guess
so
we
last
get into it.
last arc we picked up Trafalgar Law, who is maybe a good guy, question mark. He's a Tumblr sexy man.
Mm-hmm.
Who has this whole plan where he is going to take down Doflamingo because Doflamingo is taking the like drugs made by Caesar Clown and turning them into devil fruits and artificial devil fruits, and then selling them to Kaido, King of the Beasts, who is an emperor of the sea. So we have this whole plot going down to how to get to Kaido. Yeah, we gotta go get to Dressrosa and get to Doflamingo first and destroy his devil fruit factory, his smile factory.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Smile Factory.
But little do we know that actually Trafalgar Law has a lot of personal baggage in this personal stakes arc.
Yes.
Wasn't just about the factory.
Yeah, it's never just about the factory, is it?
I kind of forgot about the factory
Me
plotline, now, like a few chapters into that.
You know who never forgot about the factory? Frankie.
Yeah,
Frankie
did.
was the guy.
Yeah, he was at that thing
Everyone
for a
forgot
while.
about the factory.
Except for Frankie. You're right.
Yeah, because they get on to the island, and Luffy immediately sees there's a huge like Roman Colosseum, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds cool." And also, they are competing for the Mero Nomi, the flame fruit.
Yes.
Which, John, you were right. Yeah, it's Ace's devil fruit.
Oh.
That was crazy.
was.
That's so like I like the plot point that like devil fruits grow back and like other people can use them. That's pretty cool. Like,
It's pretty neat, weird.
Cool.
I like that they go on Dressrosa all wearing beards and like different hats to
Yeah.
disguise themselves. And Luffy wears the beard like the whole stinking, well, not the whole time, but like for half of what we read.
yeah, he's like
No,
this
like
funny
he
dude.
gets written out of the arc pretty early, and it's kind of weird that the main character gets written out of the arc.
Yeah, it's like, where'd he go?
Yeah, but then like we have this like new main character named Lucy for this arc.
Yeah, Lucy.
Yeah,
It's definitely not Luffy in a crappy disguise.
No way.
No way. No way. Yeah.
What?
Also, ironically, the disguises don't really matter for like part of it because they meet an admiral first thing,
Yeah.
and he's blind, so you wouldn't even have recognized him anyway.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what did you guys think? They like walk in to a nice little restaurant to talk about their plan. There's a blind old man there who's getting like what's the word? Scammed?
Yeah.
He's scammed because he's blind and he's playing roulette.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
like
it's
roulette or
called.
something like that. Yeah.
And he can't tell where the ball is actually landing, so he's getting scammed by the people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was bad until I found out he was a Marine.
yeah, and then Luffy like tells him that he's being scammed, and he like immediately like sends the scammers to hell by like singing them into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh
Get rid of
yeah,
coal.
no, like
It's like, oh dang.
dude, they do that so well in the manga where it's just like one panel there's nothing, and the next panel there's a giant hole in the ground. They're like, what just happened?
It's like, oh
It's
god.
like,
You're gone.
it's like a good way to like
Delete it.
make you feel as confused as the people there are. Like it just
Yeah.
sort of happened. Like
Hmm.
Yeah, they were just gone.
I also like this one line he says, Fujitora is his name, but
Yeah.
or his people, and he says, "I think it's better for both of us to not tell each other who we are," because Luffy asks him who he is.
Oh yeah. He's like, yeah, we should.
it's like he knows.
And we probably shouldn't.
We probably should not.
You know?
Yeah. And then he leaves.
Hmm.
Um.
And then almost immediately, Zoro gets one of his swords stolen.
Oh yeah.
So he like runs off, and then Kinemon runs after him because he's like, "Wait, that sword is actually a treasure of Wano."
Yeah.
And then Sanji runs after him to stop Zoro from getting lost, and immediately gets distracted by Hot Lady.
Yeah.
And then
That's
only Frankie is left to actually do what they came here to do because
Yeah.
like Law also has to like go send off Caesar.
Yeah, he goes off to Green Bit to meet
With
Doflamingo.
Nami and Robin. And everyone else is still on the ship, just the
Yeah.
Guardian.
You know, every time I hear this with so many characters going on and so much action happening, like foretelling, all I can think about is JoJo's Part 2 with everyone just yelling like, Caesar!
Oh yeah.
Caesar, no!
Except we don't like this Caesar. We actually treat him like shit.
Yeah, he just got like
He's just
yanked
there.
around with the stick. This guy was a literal like hyped up like the entirety of last time, and all of a sudden now he's
Yeah.
just
He's
like
just
a
their
ball and
bitch.
chain.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, tossed around like a
Yeah.
toy.
He's supposed to be their hostage, but they're like, "No, Caesar, fly us over to this broken bridge. No,
Yeah,
Caesar,
like how
use
they
your
do
like
not know how to
lasers."
have a hostage. It's such a funny idea.
Yeah.
The pirates like have no idea what they're doing.
No.
I mean, Law does still have his heart, so it's like he can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's just like being used constantly and being abused. Which you love to see it because Caesar's kind of an asshole. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we hate that guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, Frankie and Luffy were left after like half of the group just leaves. But even then, Frankie's like, well, I guess you could keep, because Luffy sees the Roman Coliseum and wants to enter into the competition. Frankie's like, okay. Just lets him go.
That's pretty. I guess it's like kind of understandably important when he's like,
Yeah,
oh, he
with
has like
the-
Ace's devil
Yeah,
fruit.
yeah.
Oh, that's a touchy
He's
subject.
like, all
right, you go
right,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
I like how Luffy also asks Frankie if he wants to eat it because he trusts Frankie.
Yeah, he
He's
trusts
like, nah.
Frankie. He's like,
No,
no.
it's okay. I can already make fire with my fire breath.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to become a hammer or something.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't
In the
become-
water.
Yeah. Sink in the water.
Yeah.
You gotta have some people that can swim
Strong.
in the group.
Exactly.
Uh,
And plus, I feel like Frankie is like, how would that even work if he's a cyborg and then he's also made of fire?
I don't know.
Would like the cyborg parts be made of fire too, or would he be like flame with cyborg parts?
I also think it would make working on a boat kind of difficult if he couldn't swim.
That's true. Yeah, probably a bad idea for Frankie to have that one then.
But it was nice of Luffy to offer.
Yeah, well, polite, very polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I'd like to swim still. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Though.
So, okay, I guess we should focus on the Coliseum. We should focus on these like plots one at a time. 'cause
Yeah,
there's a
plots
lot
one at a
going
time,
on.
yeah. Because, like, everything is
what do
happening
you
at
guys-
once.
What do you guys think of like this whole like tournament arc, this like mini tournament arc in the
Yeah, it's
Coliseum?
interesting because I thought it was going to be more like a tournament arc, but it's not structured like one at all.
No.
It's like
Yeah.
a battle royale. So
Yeah.
they like
Even
all fight at the
then-
same time, which is hell. I'm like, damn, Oda, you just like glutton for punishment here, buddy. like, you're, like kind
It's
of
almost
animate
like kind of like shit on how other animes like do tournament arcs.
Yeah.
It kind of was, yeah. Which was good because I didn't want it to go forever and ever when there's so many other things happening.
Mhm.
So I actually thought it was paced quite well.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No, it didn't waste too much time. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of all like the new fighters, like new characters introduced in Coliseum? Because there were a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna
There's
say I don't even
so
know where to start
many.
with that.
Um,
Uh, I like the guy who was really obsessed with his popularity. He was funny.
yeah.
Got
Oh
the horse.
yeah,
Did he even have a
Cavendish.
devil fruit? I don't think he even had a devil fruit, did he?
No, he
No.
was like, I've been saving my lips for the perfect devil fruit.
Oh yeah.
Like a
He's
weirdo.
like, yeah, he
That's
was like a
funny.
nice shonen, like pretty
I
boy.
I kind of
Yeah.
love those kind of characters. As long as they're not like creepy, I think it's like funny.
Yeah.
Like he was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was also funny that like in one panel you see like a bunch of like other soldiers be like, "Whoa, that guy's beautiful," and then like one like dude also has hearts for eyes
Yeah.
because we stand like gay
Oh
gladiators.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie Gladiators. Uh, there's all sorts of people though. Like there's the guy with that's huge, with the squished head.
Oh yeah, Don
Qi
Xinjiao.
Jiao. Yeah.
Oh, the old guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old guy.
Yeah. That's
Because like
funny.
it's like that the like humped head is actually a thing in Chinese culture too.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually he got punched. He had a dome. He had like a cone for a head, and he got punched in.
Yeah.
So stupid.
It's so silly. There's
Oh, wasn't it by? It was by Luffy's grandpa.
Yeah,
so
by
he
Yeah, it was
Garp.
like
really
Luffy's
wanted
Yeah,
to
grandpa
get
but they made it
too.
relevant, which was
And
hilarious.
they made it relevant because he needed his head to like crack open this like
The-
giant ice continent.
Yeah.
I did like how
Yeah,
they introduced.
it was for his treasure. Like it was hiding
Oh,
his treasure for only his head to open,
Yeah.
and they blunted it so he couldn't get to his treasure.
it's so stupid.
I was like,
Okay.
why? Why would you
Why
do
would you
that?
do this? Why would you park all of your treasure in here?
Yeah.
Guess that's one way to secure it.
I know.
Yeah.
I did like how they introduced him as like the cliche like fun like old man character we see so much in One Piece, like the like kind of jolly old man. But as soon as like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," but he still has his like funny, cute, like jolly face. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "How's your grandfather doing?" Oh gosh, that one scene where because Lucy is definitely not Luffy at all.
No.
And like Cavendish doesn't recognize him because he stabbed the wanted poster too much, so he can't recognize that
Oh
it's
my
Luffy.
Oh yeah.
And then Cavendish is on one side talking to Lucy, and then Luffy's like, "No, wait, I'm not that guy. I'm not Luffy."
No,
And then
no,
Don
that guy.
Chinchou is like, "How is your grandfather?" He's like, "You know, Gramps."
It's like, oh. Oh.
And
See, one
Kevin,
thing.
oh, sorry.
Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, Cavendish hates Luffy so much, and I like how they built this up. Is like, he was from the generation before the worst generation, before Luffy and all of them.
Yeah.
So he's angry at them because he was the famous one, and then after they came along, they took all of his fame.
Yeah.
Me.
Like, how could you?
Yeah.
It was funny. I did like that character. And then there's the girl. She's just like, I feel bad because she's like the only girl competing. She doesn't have a distinct face or anything, so she kind of like got lost in all the other characters to me.
Yeah.
Rebecca, that's her name.
Oh, Rebecca. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She
think
is one of
Wow.
the most guilty, plain-looking One Piece characters I think we've seen yet.
yeah, and it doesn't help that she's like wearing nothing at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty distracting. And like
I think
not,
that's kind of the point though, is she distracts the other fighters.
but it doesn't.
But
It's
it
not a
also
plot
didn't
point
even
though,
work
is
'cause
it?
they
Like
They just all hate her anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
it
Do,
felt.
do we want to talk about why they hate her, or do we not get to that yet?
Well, I was gonna say really quick something about the tournament thing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure we won't talk about it for too long. But I was a little frustrated with that part a bit because they established that like nobody knows, it's like the general audience doesn't know it's Luffy.
Mhm.
But like he isn't really hiding it, and like people are like shouting his name constantly, and like Luffy, they've trying to establish that he has to hide his identity because Luffy is this like massively famous target that everyone like,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't want to make sure it's not like, nobody wants to tell the general audience that it's Luffy because like everyone will be in an uproar. But he like uses like, he says like gum gum Gatling like while they're
Yeah.
fighting and shit, and I'm like, is
That's
nobody
cool.
like realizing this? Is how's word not getting out? Like
I guess it's not because like they don't even know what he looks like. Some people say because they only see the wanted posters. There's no
Yeah,
like video of him or
I
anything.
guess that's true. But
That
I mean,
is
the Warner
true.
poster's a pretty decent like
I think there was
depiction
like
of
one
him.
line where like someone's like, "That's not Luffy." I think like I've heard that Luffy is like an 8 foot tall giant or something,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
true. They're like,
which
how
is
can you
like
be so small?
which is also probably true because there's probably like surveillance footage of his like gigantic fist coming out of Annie's lobby.
Yeah.
So
Not true.
he did kind of turn giant for a little bit, or at least his hand.
Yeah. It's also funny because Luffy's actually not that short compared to a lot of the characters, but compared to like these 8 feet characters, he is.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
hmm
Yeah, it was funny seeing him standing
Yeah.
with all of the gladiators. It's like, damn.
hmm
Yeah, speaking of 8 feet characters, Bellamy is back. What do you guys think of Bellamy's?
Oh yeah,
Like,
Bellamy is back.
did you ever expect to see this fucker again? Like, this guy?
That was
No,
cool. I had a
not
feeling they'd
really,
kind of
but
redeem him when like they first showed him. I was like, oh, are they gonna do something where he like he's good? And I thought that line went so hard where he was like talking to Luffy about how like like about the things he said back then. He's like, I went there, the Sky Island, and I was like, dude, fuck yes, like, he's cool now.
I went there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got the pillar that like the Skypians were gonna give to Luffy, and he gave it to Doflamingo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is what it said. Oh, Realm, you had something to say about Bellamy?
no. I like the consistency of the canon that like last time we saw them was like hundreds of chapters ago when they were talking about actually I think it was like 300 or 400 chapters ago when he like kind of messed up in that area and he's just like, well, it's all about the family, and then you kind of learn more about him, and then he's like, shit, here he is right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wondered if he would come back, but I guess I didn't know when, so I was like, oh, he's here. Okay. But he's
Back
better
on.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had time to
And
cook.
he's had time to grow. Yeah. It's time to cook. Yes, let him cook.
Yeah.
And
The
Luffy
Straw Hats
doesn't.
being like, it's Bellamy, get him, and Luffy's like, hold on, let him go.
Hold on, let him cook. Yeah, because Luffy doesn't really have any animosity towards him anymore either.
Yeah, I think he only had animosity towards him before because he was mean to Cricket, Mont Blanc Cricket.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah. I feel like the last standout in the tournament arc is the Bartolomeo. That's his name, right?
Oh,
With
yeah.
the
Yeah.
mohawk hair,
Yeah.
the chicken man.
Chicken man.
It was pretty funny. I liked the little reveal that he was actually just like a fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they built him up as like this like asshole like heel type character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
But
has
then
like the
turns out he's just a
shields.
huge Luffy fan.
Yeah, he's got a cool power too. It's like
Yeah.
a creative way to use that ability
yeah.
to make like barrier or shields, I guess, or walls.
Mhm.
Every time I kept reading that, I'm just like, damn it! I know Oda wants to use Bartholomew, but he already used the Bartholomew on Kuma, so like, he just wants to say it.
Bartolomeo.
He said it like the katakana version.
Bartolomeo.
Bartolomeu. And then he's just like, slapped. It's good.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Bartolomeo's like first introductory fight, like before we learn his powers, there's like that one dude, like Elisabello, who's like the one king, the fighting king,
Oh,
who
yes.
like has this like super duper falcon punch, but it
Oh, yeah.
takes forever.
Oh
it has
yeah,
like the
yeah.
longest
he's funny.
wind up.
Yeah.
So he needs like all of these other people to plot to like protect him
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
until he can finally punch it and he knocks everyone out except for Bartolomeo.
Yeah.
Bartolomeo kind of just like smacks him and he wins. At least he wins block B.
Yeah. He wins the block.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Jesus Burgess is there too from the
Yeah, he
Lockheed
is there.
Course, which is kind of silly because he was wearing a paper bag as a mask and he takes it off and he has a wrestling mask under it.
I
It's
was
like,
okay. Yeah, I know.
you're still masked.
It's like you really didn't need to.
Yeah. I feel like
Please
the
stop,
people
you
in the
don't have
audience
to.
just like have very bad vision or something because how did they not tell who that was? Because he didn't look that different.
Right. Right. I don't know. They probably don't know who he is, but
I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. So they all fight. And I think the last fight was sort of interesting because Rebecca wins, but like not because she won, because Cavendish has like a different form, when he
Oh yeah.
passes out or something, right? I don't actually know
yeah.
how that works yet.
Yeah, he like goes ape shit when he's asleep or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
like kills everyone. But, like we learned that Rebecca is like fighting because she's like the daughter of the deposed king.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to actually like hurt any of the citizens or people here. She just like dodges all the attacks. But she wants to like take down the
Yeah.
flamingo as well.
It's like kind of, is it implying as well she doesn't really know how to fight? Like,
It's
Um,
she isn't really like ever shown to like be strong. Like I hate to say it, like she's strong because she's doing it in the first place,
I
but she doesn't
think
like fight like
Yeah.
ever.
I think it implies that she's been always been like more of a scrappy character, more somebody who just had to learn certain things while out and about. But maybe the person we hear from later taught them some things while they were out and about and like, like while she had to
right.
grow up in the
Yeah.
streets.
um, yeah, I
I
like can't.
think part of it is because her father was like, oh yeah, she's a grandfather of the royalty, but her father was like a huge like fighter and
Mm-hmm.
like had killed people and tried to make it a point to like have her kind of like stay pure by like not murdering people
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
not give
can't.
her that like cycle
I
violence.
can't help but like compare her to Phoebe so
Yeah.
much. Like I think
Yeah.
like just the way they wrote her and introduced her feels very like, I guess just like a kingdom. Also, man, so I guess this is also good time like time to explain like the world building too with this part
Mhm.
because you mentioned like how the king was like dethroned or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
I thought it was really funny because they explain that. So I was a little confused in the timeline. So they explained that at some point in history, like hundreds of years ago, there was a bunch of people ruled a bunch of places, and then they basically just like re re-established the kingdoms of all the main like 20 kingdoms. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess they were
Or
like now under the Marines, like now
or
like
no, it was it's there's like a bunch of different kingdoms, like 20 kingdoms, who came together to form the world government. And the royalty from those governments all went together to live in Marajwa, the like celestial dragonland,
oh
and become
okay.
the celestial dragons. Except
Except
for
for
Arab
Alabasta, they said,
Alabasta.
yeah. Which I think is part of like him like coming up with that, and he's like, wait, what about
Except for that
Alabasta?
one.
Fuck, wait. Oh,
Yeah.
except for Alabasta. Except for Alabasta. we already established that place. So
Like my
Yeah.
homies are cool in Albasta. Like we
yeah,
gotta know, we gotta establish that right now.
They're
this
fine
is
though.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then I guess Doflamingo's family was the original ruler of
Right.
Dressrosa.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don Quixote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Don Quixote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this world itself, like, not world, this island itself is, like, really not strange, but just extremely unique. In that it's, like, Spanish Don Quixote themed, but also there's toys.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention there's like all these living toys.
Yeah, there's all these living toys just hanging out.
Yeah, it's like that was so strange too. I was just like,
Yeah.
huh. Yeah, it's a plot point, I guess. I did really like I like the design of the toy soldier, the main guy. I think his
Yeah,
design's
yeah.
awesome. I want a figure of him too.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought that was a good
Okay.
design.
I feel like here we should talk about like what goes on with Greenbit because that also leads into
Right.
Doflamingo's like reveal.
You're right. Because, yeah, I was about to mention, also there's dwarves.
Yeah,
like, not
also
that
there's
far away.
dwarves, So much happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
you
lot
can get
happened.
a really cool figure of him. Just looked it up. It's $280.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, really? What?
He's so
I guess
popular.
it was released. I mean, it was released years ago, probably now, but it is
Oh, that's
really cool.
true.
It's
Yeah.
like perfect. He used his gun to hold him up, like hold his other leg up.
Yeah,
That's
because
smart.
he only got one leg.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so Law, Usopp, and Robin are meeting Doflamingo at Greenbit to pass over Caesar to him. Yeah. But Things don't
'Cause
go as
they had
planned.
wanted Doflamingo to step down as king and give up his title as warlord,
Yes.
so that the Marines and Kaido would both come after him.
Yeah,
And
that's
also,
it.
like, they wanted to give him Caesar, but had that be a distraction while the others go destroy the Smile Factory.
Yes.
They just like screw Doflamingo over on all sides, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, things didn't go as planned.
It does not go as planned. I actually don't remember how. I guess they're Robin and Usopp are walking through the forest, and then they just get like taken down by the dwarves,
Yeah,
right?
they get taken by the dwarves.
Yeah, they get taken to the dwarves.
Mhm.
While they're trying to go find the meeting place with Law.
Well, yeah. Well, first they pass the Iron Bridge with all the fighting fish.
Oh yes, you're right.
And this is when all the Caesar abuse happens, where they're just like, unlock Caesar's cuffs. He can fight for us. He can do all the fighting for us, and he can fly us over. And then that's the first time you see the dwarves too, because you kind of like see people like spearing one of the fighting fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they're preparing because they also want to destroy the factory today.
Yeah.
Because they also were like thinking that Doflamingo had actually stepped down, and that's why they're preparing for today to be the day.
Right.
They finally revolt.
You're right. That is what happened.
Flamingo is one smart cookie.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it's not coincidental that like they come in at the same time as the revolution. The revolution is happening right now because of the actions they did. It's like a direct consequence of what they did.
Yeah, it's a direct consequence. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it's not just like coincidence that they're here on this date. Just so
Mhm.
happens. It's like, oh, yeah, they're here almost because of the reasons they're here. Like the actions that
Or
happen are
the
because they're
actions
here.
that it's happening is
Yeah.
happening because they are coming here.
That's
Yeah.
cool though, because I feel like there's some arcs where it's just like coincidence that like things are going awry right when they show up.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Arabasta, actually.
Yeah, like
But,
Yeah,
Arabasta,
pretty
yeah.
much.
I do think also like this arc is kind of a mirror, like a dark mirror to Arabasta, because this is like basically what would have happened to Arabasta if Crocodile had succeeded in taking over.
Yes.
know?
Yeah, I imagine so. I don't know if Crocodile. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely similar.
It is similar. Overall. With Greenbit though, yeah, I guess a bunch of dwarfs live there, and they Robin and Usopp are just like blindsided by them, and they like take them down, capture them, and take them underground to where they live.
Yeah.
And it's a weird scene. Poor Robin, but
Oh, yeah. Oh my god,
it
that
was
scene
like very
was
like Gulliver's Travels.
it was very
thing,
Gulliver's
but with
Travels. Yeah,
Scylla.
yeah.
that scene has like one of my favorite moments though. That was so well done and funny when like she's talking to the dwarves and she's like I swear like I'm not bad, and they're like, oh, okay. And she's like, wow, they are really quick to trust me. And then like right after she says that, one of the dwarves comes in and says, we gotta let these guys go. Like the other guy we captured said he's a god and he can like kill us. And like Robin's like, oh no. And it's like you just know
no.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
so
what did
smart.
Usopp do? Yeah. Yeah, so Usopp has convinced all of these dwarfs that he is the descendant of Noland.
Yeah.
From
Because they have
Skypiea.
they have a statue of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, there's a ton of plants on Greenbit because remember Noland was like a botanist.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
which was a
Not
fun
around.
callback.
no.
Um,
It's actually quite a lot of Skypiea callbacks. I can't believe people say skip Skypiea.
Yeah, right.
people just don't like having fun, apparently.
I know.
It's like so ridiculously important to the greater story, like Skypiea. Like it'd just be so silly to skip something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Maybe skip Long Ring Long Man, but I have feelings about that too.
Yeah.
But no.
Unless someday those characters come back and it's important suddenly.
I know. It'll come back at the very end, and Foxy will be the king of the pirates.
Oh my god, no.
Foxy D Pirate.
Foxy D
Foxy D
Pirate.
Pirate.
Yeah. Wait, what was I gonna say? So, Yeah, Doflamingo shows up to the island. Law has Caesar, but things don't go as planned. Because
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
because no, it's okay. I was like, I'm trying to think.
Because
Well,
Fujitora shows up too.
yes, that's what. Yeah, that's his
Uh-huh.
name. I was like, what is his name? Fujitora is there. Meteor Man is there. And also, is this where sorry, Doflamingo is like, haha, actually, I didn't step down.
Yeah.
I didn't step down from the warlords.
Psych.
Psych. He's like, what? And I honestly, I had the same reaction as Law. Like, why would you use your power like that? That's so dumb. But yeah.
No, he has the power to like change the media like last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a celestial dragon.
Yep.
Well,
Ultimately.
we don't win that yet, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Gonna say.
Yeah.
How cool was that scene though when Fujitora like basically tries to nuke both of them with
Oh, with the meteors.
the meteor, and then
Yeah, that's
like the
when I
entire
figured out what
ground
his-
is cratered except for the two spots where it's standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed my thingy.
Oh, it's
Oh my god!
amazing.
Perfect. Rob, get away! You turned into a toy. Forget about
Don't
you.
let
Yeah.
Don touch you.
To make my like not talking, like me poking.
Yo, I got the meanest faces in town. I'll do it. I will do it.
Uh,
I have an old slingshot from like 5th grade. I got the moves.
I'll make it a little bit smaller.
it's
Good.
great. I can make
Um,
you smaller.
Yeah, you can do that too. I was
Yeah.
just gonna make the PNG smaller, but
Yeah.
I'll probably switch it back after.
Okay.
Just for this
I
arc.
love it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just for this arc. Perfect.
But yes.
The hell was I just gonna say?
Oh,
what
the
was it?
meteors.
Oh yeah, that was
Wow.
cool because I was wondering what his power was, and I love trying to figure it out. And when it showed the meteors, I was like, "Oh, he controls gravity. That's so cool."
It's so cool.
It is pretty cool.
That's such a One Piece thing for him to do is like grab meteors with his gravity powers. Like that's so
Yeah.
cool.
It just like explains a lot of like how he was able to like basically delete the people back in the restaurant too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I was like, wait, you can have that? I like did not believe that was his devil fruit for a long time. It's like, that's not a power.
Why is it not a power, Trips?
I don't know. I just thought I was like,
We've seen-
that's too much, man.
It's too strong.
I definitely think now that Law has been introduced and like explained, I'm like anything goes. We're in
Anything
JoJo
goes,
territory
right?
now.
True.
Anything goes with powers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, actually, a lot of
be right
people had
back.
powers that I did not believe
Yeah,
were
they
powers.
really strong.
Yeah.
Who would win, Crafty Man or One Rubber Boy?
Or one rubber boy. Yeah. Yeah, there's a big battle going on between like Law and Doflamingo, right? And then the remainder of the Straw Hats that were on the Thousand Sunny are like trying to get to Law,
Yeah, to like pick him up.
pick him up.
'Cause
Yeah.
it was like, shit, the plan's gone sour. Like we gotta bail.
Yeah. But they get ambushed by this crazy art lady,
Yeah, Jola.
Jola. And she turns them all into masterpieces.
Yeah. What did you guys think? Especially Dawn as an artist, what do you think of like the Scream and Picasso, like Brooke and Nami and Chopper?
It was cute. I thought it was cute. I just think it was one of those times where I was very glad I was reading the digitally colored version.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I think like in one of the paintings too, you can like see like the whole history of Dressrosa painted too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and one of the things. I actually don't know if Realm and Dawn have stepped out. I don't know.
Oh, what happened?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are here. Okay.
Dawn, are you here?
Yeah, I was just letting you guys explain stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Dawn's had to step away for a
okay.
second. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Before it was just getting to very much JoJo territory, and I was just like, well, what's gonna happen now? Should I be surprised? Should I go grab a drink and just like accept everything that's happening?
Yeah.
I think that's how I just read One Piece in general. I grab a drink and I just accept everything that's
Yeah.
happening.
Well, you're just turning into fine art.
Yeah. I did like how they got out of it. Like Brooke tricks her into like playing music for her, but then he just like gets her.
Yeah.
He gets her. And then they're good. And
Oh.
they make it. But I did like how the Sunny just looked crazy. And I was like, oh no, it's gonna fall apart. If Frankie sees that, he's gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
I liked it.
hmm And then you also have like Sanji.
Oh yes,
Sanji's storyline
Sanji's
going
whole
on.
thing. Cause
Yeah.
gosh, I forgot about Sanji too. Yeah, Sanji gets separated, trying to chase Zoro, but then he sees a pretty
Mhm.
lady, so he's like, never mind, pretty lady time.
What did you guys think of Viola? I feel like there's like mixed feelings about her in the community.
Yeah. Oh, you go ahead.
I just felt like she was just like a stereotypical revolutionary, but like of course later on you figure out why she has her reasons. But like I don't know, she just felt like she didn't really feel too out there. It's just you
Yeah.
know very much one of those like movies you find where you all of a sudden get swept up in a crazy story. It's like oh my god, I had to kill somebody. Well, okay.
Well, okay.
Cool. What's
Actually,
next?
I have to kill you, but actually, no.
No, it was me.
No.
There's a lot of plot twists with her where, like, she's a woman in distress, but actually, no, she's secretly working for Doflamingo. But actually, no, she's actually, like, related to the old royal family.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Sanji's literally warned that like the woman in Dressrosa will stab you, but he's like, whatever.
Whatever, I'll take it.
It's a risk
He
I'm
likes
willing to
that way.
take. Um,
And actually, it pays off because his kindness is what actually helps her.
yeah, yeah.
But
Although,
also, like, she has, like, this devil fruit that lets her see stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
And
she can
she peers
see.
into his mind to try and figure out the Straw Hat's plans, but then she sees all his hentai thoughts.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do think the way that she like utilizes her ultimate power is really silly.
Oh yeah.
Because she does the hand thing.
Yeah.
With her eyes. Oh, it's so silly. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We were talking about Viola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I also wanted to get your opinion on the beautiful, lovely modern art that Nami, Chopper, Momonosuke, and Brooke were turned into.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it's like an interesting power, I guess. It's funny. There's like two sort of powers, kind of like that in the same arc, kind of like
There are,
art-related,
yeah.
like creation powers. I guess
Mhm.
like one turns people into it, and one creates it out of like nothing. But, yeah, another power that's like, oh, it's pretty silly.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we introduced Viola and her yeah, she's like acts like she's going to kill Sanji, but then she reads his mind and she's like, what the heck? And then
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he uses his actually good heart to like have Viola betray Doflamingo. Because she doesn't actually like Doflamingo.
Mhm.
Because she's royalty too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's like Rebecca's aunt.
Yeah, technically, I think.
Yeah,
Technically.
she is. She is Rebecca's aunt, maternal aunt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ugh. Yeah. So, she and her super sight powers
Mhm.
are now on the side of
That's a hockey, though, right? That's what they.
Oh no, she actually just has like the sight powers.
yeah.
Oh.
I know she
But
uses a move
that's-
where she like makes like giant whales out of her tears and hits people with them.
Yeah.
What? I don't remember that.
Yeah, she does do
Yeah.
that. It was like lacquer whale or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought she had hockey. Wait.
No.
But wait,
No,
isn't there
her
like an
power is just
observation
like crazy
hockey?
vision. There is observation hockey, but her
Is
power
that
is just like actually vision.
Yeah.
okay?
She can
That
see into people's minds and see
oh
really long
yeah, I thought
distances
she just
too.
was like really good
Oh
with it.
yeah,
Oh
because
wow, I was
Mhm.
confused.
I think
Because but didn't Rebecca have
yeah, Luffy's
hockey?
like, oh, she
Yeah.
must have observation hocky.
That's
Yeah.
so
Um,
fucking confusing. As I was
I
like,
get it.
oh,
I get
I was like,
it.
oh, that
Mhm.
means it runs in her family. So like Violet or whatever has it too. I was like, that's cool.
She might have observation
Yeah, she
hockey.
might have lucky too.
That's so confusing. I was so I
Yeah.
was okay, yeah. Oh my god. Because I thought that was cool because they don't really tell you that Sanji has that kind of hockey. I think they say that he has hockey,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but in one of the in between like thing, somebody asked Oda like, "Hey, like Luffy has the Conqueror's hockey. What do the others have?" And they're like, "Oh, Sanji has the observation hockey or whatever it's called." And I was like,
I think it's more like which hockey they excel at because they all
okay.
they all probably have like armament too.
Yeah.
Considering how like Sanji is able to turn his leg on fire and not get burned.
Yeah, it was cool though because he at one point like he shows up right when Doflamingo is there,
Yes.
and it's like, oh, he must have just like heard them with his like hockey.
Yeah,
And I was like, that makes so much more sense why he's like there at the nick of time every time. Like,
yeah, I think
Mhm.
that's actually a perfect segue because I forget why does Sanji leave Viola? But
because
he
I
does
think
go
he
to
hears
save.
Nami
Yeah,
scream or something.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he
he
hears
does save
Nami,
Nami.
and he's like, I gotta go.
Because
Otter girl, sorry. Like,
yeah, Law is trying to escape from um Doflamingo after the deal went sour.
Yeah.
Well, Sanji comes in the nick of time, but kind of
Yes.
gets trashed by Doflamingo.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah. So Sanji takes off, and I think Viola is left with Zoro. Is that right, or is she just on her own? I don't
I don't
remember.
remember where Viola goes from here.
Viola. Viola. I
Because
don't know.
Zoro's chasing down the fairy who stole his sword, who turns
Oh
out to be one of the
yes.
dwarves.
Yeah.
And then she's trying to guide him to the factory, but he keeps getting lost. And she calls him like a booger brain
Because he's a booger
because
brain.
he's so dumb with directions.
And he has green hair.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sanji, Nami, Chopper, Brook, and Momonosuke are basically out of the arc because they take the boat and then they're just like, yeah, we can't get back right now. So we're just going to go and we'll meet you on Zoe
Yeah.
because we have the Vijay card for Zoe. And then they run into one of Big Mom's ships and they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And
But
then it's like
yeah,
the consequences of our actions because we pissed off Big Mom too.
I do know.
Luffy pissed off Big Mom.
Hey,
Yeah.
Luffy pissed off Big
By eating
Mom,
all our candy
and then sending her a bomb.
oh yeah.
as payment for the candy.
Famous for the candy.
Thanks for the candy. Here, have a bomb.
didn't eat.
I love the consistency that every time Luffy picks up the phone, he's like, "This is Luffy, King of the Pirates."
That's true.
That's just how he answers the phone.
It's so funny. It's like he's never used a phone in his life, so he just is like, "Oh, I have to introduce myself."
This is
Like
my full
Luffy, King of the
title.
Pirates. Yeah.
Guys, this is like a part-time gig right now, but let's just say I'm going full-time pretty soon.
Do you think he puts
King of
on
the
his
Pirates.
customer service voice when he picks up the phone?
Hello. Doesn't seem
This
like.
is Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates.
Hi, this is Luffy. Yeah. I do like that Sanji protects all of everybody that's on the Thousand Sunny.
It's true.
Because Doflamingo's going to like attack them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
He
was cool that
stops them.
Sanji was like the first one to take a strike at Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when series do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he isn't strong enough to beat Doflamingo, he was strong enough to protect his friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also,
that's
I
good
mean,
enough.
you kind of learn Doflamingo doesn't exactly fight in person, but I
Yeah.
do like when villains are like in the front line like that. Like he was like,
True.
nope, like I'm protecting my family, like I'm fucking you guys up, like
Yeah.
before you can do
Mhm.
anything. And it's
Yeah.
like that's cool. Like I respect that. I respected that about Crocodile, but I think I like it even more with Doflamingo. I think it's
Crocodile
even
kind of like
better.
shit on all of his guys though.
He did,
was a-
though.
No, he
he
did.
was
He
an
didn't have
asshole.
respect for his people, but he was one of the. He was like in the front line fighting
True.
as much as he could, which I always like with villains. It's like Caesar Clown was like the opposite. He was like the cower in the back, and Luffy takes him out in one punch kind of antagonist.
Yeah. I
Um,
think Crocodile was he didn't trust anyone. That's why he had to be all secret and not
Yeah.
like use everyone instead of actually telling them. Whereas Doflamingo is more like, you're my family, therefore I should trust you, but family means you do stuff for me.
Yeah.
Kind of like toxicity.
Yeah. He has more of a mafia mentality too, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. I was saying it before, but it is really cool to see the found family dynamic like twisted to
Yeah.
be like a villain thing because
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's we've spent so long establishing that as such a powerful good thing for like Luffy, but
Mhm.
like not that it's like the found family part of it is bad, but the fact that Doflamingo is like using these people's insecurities to be like
Yeah.
to take advantage of them is like it's like the bad side of it kind of.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, but uh ultimately because Big Mom is coming after the Thousand Sunny, they are ordered to just head to Zoe.
yeah. Hmm.
So I guess they're going there. I don't really know. They're like gone for the rest of this
Yeah,
what
we
we've
actually
Yeah, it is
read.
don't know what
funny.
happens because
Yeah,
I
as
think
soon as
Sanji
they're
asked
like
if they can open fire on Big Mom, and then Luffy's
yeah,
like, sure.
as soon as they're like,
He's
"Good
like,
luck,
yeah, okay,
bye."
bye.
It's like that's it. I'm like, that's kind of cool though. Like, I really do
Yeah.
like the fact that I'm like, and I have heard from some of my friends like when I said that they're like, "Yeah, like say bye for a while." I'm
It's like, oh
like, wait,
no.
what? I'm like,
That's okay.
What? We see them in the next arc. What are they
well,
talking
I
about?
guess like because the arc is long, and they
That's
all my
true.
friends read it while it was coming out, so it was literally like two
Oh, yeah, it
years you
would
don't
feel
see
like
the
you
rest
don't
of
Yeah,
them.
see.
yeah, that's
So
true.
That would
like,
suck so much not to see Chopper, Nami, and
well,
Sanji
it
and
was like,
Brook.
I mean, it was kind of like when they, when they got disappeared earlier. It's like that
Yeah.
was probably, it's so funny. Somebody mentioned this to me. They're like, well, it was about 2 years since you had seen the Straw Hats when you were keeping up with it. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it was. That makes the time skip make so much more sense. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so smart.
Yeah. I was okay though, because Usopp and Frankie are still.
Frankie is such a good role in this. I think I'm like respecting Frankie. I was so worried because his design gets a lot less character driven. Like his design looks more like he's a giant robot, like he's just some set piece to do big explosions,
Mm-hmm.
or like person to set up big explosions. But he has like a really good character. He's like the dad. Like he's like the one to like keep Luffy kind of in check a little bit. Like
True.
it's cool. I
Yeah.
like how focused he was on, like destroying the factory, even though that one guy was like messing with him the whole time.
Yeah, that one.
Oh god, I hate
Senior
that
Pink.
guy.
Yeah, Senor
He
Pink.
might be
Yeah.
my least favorite character design yet.
Wait, okay, hang on. You like Sugar because he dresses and looks like a baby, even though she's like 22. But you
No,
can't
that is
like
not
a
why I
40-year-old
like.
man
I
who
never
dresses
said
like
that's
a
why I
baby.
like Sugar.
He's a baby.
I'm sorry for laughing so hard.
Some double standards here.
Yeah, you're right.
I love Senor Pink. He's so hard boiled.
Hmm. He's so hard boiled. I loved their fight, yeah, but we can get to it later. um, gosh. Oh yeah, around this time, everyone's starting to meet up at the flower field.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone is, because Robin and Usopp are like carried there, right?
Is that?
By the dwarfs.
Or they come up with this whole plot because Usopp is like, yes, I am clearly the descendant of Mont Blanc
Yeah,
Noland.
yeah.
So then they come up with this whole like mission to take them down. But I don't think they go to the flower field yet.
Oh,
They
okay.
go to the underground first.
Oh, I guess. Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. It's the underground thing.
The underground like shipment black market area.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Although I don't know, they meet up with Zoro and Zoro's just like chilling there, somewhere. But I don't
No,
remember.
yeah, he's like watching the fight. He's like
He's
watching the Coliseum fight.
The Coliseum fight.
Oh yeah, and he goes up to Luffy. He's like, "Why did you invite me? What the fuck?"
Yeah, why did I get to compete? It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they end up meeting the people and they bring them underground,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I think that's when you find out the full story about the toys and like how they're made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Frankie is brought with the soldier guy. He's also brought to the same area.
Mhm.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because the soldier's working with the dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I guess all the toys are actually people. And
Yeah,
they're just perma
I didn't
toys.
like the word that the toys are like their fathers, their brothers, their lovers. I was like, oh, the what? I was like-
I mean, they are though, technically, just nobody can
I-
remember that they are.
yeah, they had
I
like a
mean,
picture of
some
like a
people
husband
in
and
the
wife.
real world have toys as lovers. I'm just saying.
Oh dear.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Oh
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
my.
No, it's fine. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I was like, oh, that's fucked up. Basically, was my opinion. What was your
Mhm.
opinion on the toys?
I thought it was weird because I remember the first thing they said. One of the first things they say is like, "Oh, they get turned into toys, and then everyone forgets them, and they don't like they can't talk or whatever."
Yeah, they can't. Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, what about this soldier guy? I was like- and then they explained very shortly after, except for him.
Except for
And I was
him,
like,
yeah, because
oh.
she forgot. She forgot to do
Yeah.
it.
Or he escaped
Yeah,
before
he
she
escaped
could.
before
You
she could
know?
put the other power she has, which is like,
Yeah, she has a really OP and complicated power. It's
yeah,
kind of not okay.
She does. It's like, wow,
yeah, it definitely it's a
one devil
plot
fruit.
power.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like everything that needed to be established for the plot she was capable of, which is fine, but yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Almost made sense. Like she has control of the toys that she makes, but also doesn't actually control them. She just tells them like one thing that they follow. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting. So yeah, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong. The plan is to go into the factory and scare the shit out of Sugar so bad that she passes out, so her concentration on all of the
well,
Or
toys
the
ends.
plan wasn't to scare her. The plan was to poison her.
Oh,
yes.
poison her.
Well, not poison her.
Okay.
It was to like give her this super spicy Tacha Tabasco grape.
Oh, I didn't think that was gonna kill her though. I thought it would just
It
like.
was it
Wasn't
was
supposed to
her
kill her.
power releases if she passes out or cries.
Oh yeah, I thought
Yeah.
they were just trying to get her pet to pass out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but that's what they were. It wasn't really. They said it was. They said in at least the translation I read that it was poison, but it wasn't actually.
Oh.
Apparently, it wasn't
Right,
poison
right.
enough to kill her.
No.
Just to
It
knock
was
her
just
out.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
to make her cry because it's too spicy.
So
Yeah.
spicy.
it
Mhm.
has the best.
It's just Tabasco. No.
It has the best. Like
Oh, but it's the special
It's the Tata
breed of
Tabasco.
yeah, it's Tacha Tabasco from Green Bit,
Yeah.
which is super spicy. It's just like they're trying to feed her ghost peppers. Is basically what's happening.
Yeah. Like the California
has
Reapers.
this whole
Yeah.
sequence has the best payoff. I think maybe in all One Piece.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I was ready to make that my wallpaper. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
so good.
You want
great.
to talk about a realm?
Oh yeah.
Well,
happened?
during the whole midst of them trying to sneak up and give her the grapes, they get caught. There's a whole battle that ensues. Usopp is unfortunately defeated, and because Sugar was able to figure out from the dwarves why like they were trying to get her, she fed Usopp the super spicy Tabasco, grape, and he made the most. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I'm not gonna do it justice. The most to her repugnant, scary, like scare face of the century, like 10 times better than like the Simpsons style, like oh my god, crazy face, and they unilaterally made her pass out. And that is when all of the toys, which apparently she had been building for an entire decade, all turned back to human forms. And apparently, the people were starting to remember
Yeah.
the people that had turned over. And
Yeah.
so then, Dressrosa became like this total mayhem-induced like panic state, and it was absolutely bonkers. But the really funny part was right afterwards. The dwarves were like, "Oh my God, Usopp, you did it!" And he's like, he's like, yo, I planned this.
Yep.
It's okay.
From the very beginning, I planned.
I
Yeah.
planned this." And then everyone was so happy that the one of the like more like the taller soldiers came by and said, "Look, this is the man. This is the man who did it." And at the same time, a building fell, so like the light rays
Yeah.
came down
Yeah.
on Usopp, and he said in a raspy voice, "Follow me, and I will guide you." But he really meant, "Please drop me right now. I'm gonna deck you. This hurts so much right now." But that's all he could say. And so then Usopp became the god Usopp,
Yes, God,
which
Usopp.
was
Well, it's not just a tall guy, a literal giant like picks him up and just holds his
Yeah.
like broken body in the air.
Yep.
it's like, "Stop it, please."
He's the god. I like
Um,
all the lead up to it as well. Where like they try to like deliver the spicy thing, but they fail, and Robin like grabs them like so they don't get caught.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's
She gets turned.
fighting, and Usopp wants to run away because oh god, this is scary. But then he can't.
Yeah,
Robin's
and
telling
he's
him
like-
how cool he is, and he's like, I can't.
And Robin actually gets caught too. Robin gets turned into a toy.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, it's really cute.
And
design for the
Treble
toy.
is there
was
to the
cute.
mucus man, the gross ass mucus
Yeah,
man.
I don't like to thinking
Sucks.
about him.
Wow.
What a horrible power.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we forgot to say that
it's
all
worse than Caribou. Caribou.
It is worse than Caribou.
God, they do not. They
Caribou.
love Caribou so much, though. He is like the chapter covers for so long.
I know.
Why?
I was like, I don't want to see his face ever again. Please stop. Oh, oh crap.
But yeah, Usopp, like because he like lied to all the tontatas, all the dwarves.
Yeah.
He's told them that he was like a super powerful hero, and then he finally like fesses up and he's like, "I'm not a hero. I lied, but I'll make it true. I'll be the hero that you need."
It's like, aw.
Aww.
Usopp.
And he makes it by doing the stupidest thing and getting poisoned himself and eating the spicy food and making the stupid face.
This does
Yeah.
This whole sequence does kind of lead into kind of the plot point with how like all the Coliseum members were getting like dumped into the basement whenever they lost or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
about
yeah.
to say.
Yeah, and then you find out that the king was also one of them, like the original king of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then he gets turned back, and the toy soldier, who turns out to be, Rebecca's dad, also gets turned back. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
still missing a leg too. That was pretty
Yeah.
raw.
I think it's really interesting how this arc like splits them up at the beginning, but the plot points actually do mesh together very well
Also-
and come back
yeah.
together.
Sorry, really quick. Did we talk about during the tournament thing? Did we talk about who Luffy meets during the tournament thing?
We didn't. We should talk
No,
about
we
that.
didn't.
Yeah, because there's like that part was really cool. I unfortunately had that spoiled.
Oh, yeah, I was about to mention
Um,
it. But
yeah.
yeah.
You wanna
but
talk
it
about
was pretty cool the way they do it. I can imagine if I was reading this like without being spoiled, I would have been like, "Holy moly!" Like,
that? Okay, but on the other hand, did anyone actually think that Sabo was dead after he was introduced
No.
and like
No.
No.
like he was like the most obviously like this guy will be alive later character ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have believed it. They wanted like because they did it during a they like to do a lot of death during backstories.
That's
so
true.
like
That's
I
true.
could see them like this is the tragic death that leads like Ace to go apeshit kind of or
Yeah.
whatever. But no, yeah, this was definitely I would have figured it out very fast. But it was a pretty cool little thing where like he kind of just shows up. He's like, hey, like I want to talk to Luffy, and then you only see them in the background talking, and Luffy's like face is like mind blown,
like,
like
passed
eyes
out.
bulging out.
And he's like crying. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, and then like Bartolomeo was like, "Who are you to talk to like Master Luffy senpai?" Sama.
Yeah, he's kind of pushed him.
that
He's
way.
like, yeah, I'm like, like I know him for a long time. You're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. They don't tell you outright, but Luffy's kind of like, oh my god, like he's still alive, like holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I don't know when you find out exactly, but
Been on for a long time.
It's during the tournament because
Yeah.
then Sabo puts on Lucy's gear and pretends to be Lucy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the stand-in.
apparently there was, it was like a little thing where my friend was saying that there was a hint that Sabo
Yes.
was still alive beforehand,
yes.
where like in the arc,
It's so
a few arcs,
small.
yeah, a few arcs ago when you see Ace's grave,
Uh-huh.
there's the 3 cups in front of the grave, but Luffy never went to the grave. So it's like, who else would have known to put that
Yeah.
there?
Interesting.
Blue.
And it's because they exchange sake cups as
Yeah,
as
it's
kids too.
Yeah.
It's cute. I never knew the context, but my friend long time ago, for my birthday, we'd always give each other like anime figures, and he got me figures of Ace and Luffy as kids, even though I hadn't even read that part yet. But I had a kid figure of like Vivi, so he was like, "Oh, you should get all of them all as like all the backstory figures." And I was like, "That'd be kind of cute." And they come with the little cups that they can hold, but it doesn't
Oh,
come. It doesn't come with Sabo.
Oh.
It just comes with Ace and Luffy. So.
that's cute.
Well, I
Yeah, I thought
now
that
you
was a
need to
cool
get a Sabo
detail.
one too.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what they make it, but I got it such a long time ago now.
Mhm.
Trying to think. And how does this sequence go? I don't know how soon, because basically, Sabo takes Luffy's place
Yeah.
in the
Right.
tournament.
So Luffy can go after Doflamingo now and help
Yeah,
Law because
That's
Yeah.
how
Law is
that.
kind of
That's
getting
how that
screwed.
goes down. Yeah, and then
And then,
pretty shortly after he starts fighting.
Yeah.
yeah, like so the 4 winners of the block were Jesus Burgess, Ptolemaeo, um,
Rebecca,
Rebecca, and Lucy.
Lucy.
Oh, we also forgot to mention Luffy's fight against Don Chinjiao, the like forehead
Oh
guy.
yeah.
We
Oh,
can see him
yeah.
bad. Whole fight because he does actually fight.
Yeah, they do fight. And it's kind of just goofy.
I think it's funny how like it was kind of a parody of how tournament arcs go because the announcer was trying to build up these other 2 fighters and then like Don Jinjao and Luffy just kind of come in and are like out of my way.
Out of my way, yeah. And Luffy has made friends with Usi.
Oh yeah, the
Usi
moves.
the bull.
And then like what the giant like kind of smashes him, Hajrudin the giant.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Luffy
yeah.
just takes him out too.
Hmm.
They're like, holy crap, he took out.
Yeah, he did. But he like I don't know what I can't remember what he does, but he makes his head pointy again. So
Yeah, he like they use hockey on his like the old guy uses hockey on his head. Luffy does like gear 3 and has like the huge giant fist.
yeah.
And like they're smashing against each other and each one like won't budge until suddenly his head slips and it goes into a point again.
Yeah, he like. Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's like, how does this work?
Whatever.
Yeah, he kind of like. Yeah, he does it. Oda draws it pretty well, where he like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it slips and he just pulls his face down.
Yeah.
So his
Yeah.
like head stays up, like the point on his head stays up. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has like this tragic question mark backstory where his head was used to open that continent and now he can't do it
Yeah.
because
Oh,
his
yeah.
fist's flat because of Garp's fist.
Scarp punched him in the head.
Yeah.
It was funny. Also, perhaps it is a reasonable time to bring this up. There's like one guy that's fighting and he loses, but he's still like alive or whatever. And he has like a helmet on and everything, and part of it breaks off, and it just shows like a beard. And during that moment, I was like, "Is Grandpa here?" I was like, "No, that's too weird."
Yeah. I mean, we do find out later when like they're underground when they get pulled
Yeah,
under
yeah.
the toy
It's not
factory.
Grandpa, but I kind of
Yeah, but
wanted it to be Grandpa.
It is Grandpa, but it's not Luffy's Grandpa. It's
Yeah.
Rebecca's Grandpa.
Yes, the king is still
Gladiator
alive.
Ricky.
Yes. Riku.
There's a lot of weird fighters too. They like just introduce people. Like
Yeah.
like there's like a long leg guy and a long arm guy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the long leg.
The
Yeah.
creepy dudes that like they wear each other's skin or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
I think that's been on record, like in a lot of people's minds, as one of the stupidest and worst devil fruit powers you could have. It's Bobby and Kelly Funk, and Bobby Funk has the Jackie no Me, which turns you into jacket that other people can wear.
It's worse than mud
So
and snot because it gives me that ew body horror vibes.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb power.
It is really dumb too.
It's like you're not any stronger. Like you're just both of your strengths are just in one person now.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's weird. It is very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a whole thing that happens as well.
Mhm.
Sabo fights in Luffy's place,
Mhm.
which is cool.
Yeah, and he like
Um,
beats up Jesus Burgess and like the box with the devil fruit is tied to one of the fighting fish,
Yeah.
like the bullhorn fish. And yeah, Sabo gets it and he eats it.
Yeah.
I think this might be one of like the first times we see like protagonist, or like a good
Like a
guy
good
character,
guy,
like eat a
yeah.
devil fruit. Yeah, because
Yeah, that
last
was
time we saw someone actually eat a devil fruit was like what, CP9?
Yeah, it was CP9. It was
Yeah.
Kaku and what's her face?
That was-
Yeah,
Mako?
Khalifa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Khalifa?
that was
Yeah.
crazy how fast that all happens too.
Yeah.
It was like in the course of like a page, Sabo wins, gets it, and eats it, and uses the fire. Like
Yeah.
I guess it
there's
does
like
work
no
instantly.
time wasted.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah. And he watched Ace use it long
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or
I
no,
don't
maybe
know.
not. Maybe just
Because I have mixed feelings about Sabo. I feel like it's like almost, well, I think at this point, when I read this arc originally, I had mixed feelings about him because I was like, it's kind of like a cop out. Like you had like Luffy's brother die, but it's like, it's okay. He has another one.
it's okay. I don't even think he's like supposed to replace Ace or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like a, oh well, if somebody's going to get the Mera Mera no Mi, it could be Sabo. It could be the other brother, I guess.
That's true.
I guess
I
so.
feel better about Sabo now because as we learn more about them, he does like act very different than how Ace was.
I
Like,
see.
He's his own character.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too because like you don't hear what he says to Luffy in that scene,
Yeah.
but it's
Mhm.
interesting that he would immediately just be like, "Yeah, I'm taking Ace's fruit." Like no like no, I don't know, like kind of like there's no like respect for a big part of him, you know? And I guess maybe there is, but like it's funny how he immediately eats it. Like you just know
He's like, I'm
like
just gonna take it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you learn that he obviously is a big part of the Revolutionary War army people,
Yeah.
but it's just yeah, it's very interesting that he just like quickly ate it, even though he's plenty fucking strong without it. It shows that
I
he's
feel
like
like if it was like any more back and forth, this like Coliseum stuff would have felt too long though, because it was already a long fight to
Right,
get to it.
yeah.
In those fights.
Yeah.
I think so too.
It's like I got it in my hands. Let me just eat it like already. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah, so no
I'm not gonna wait for them to announce the winner or anything. I'll just eat it so no one else gets it already.
How do you feel about Sabo, Realm?
I hope he's just not like one of the like a two-tone character where they just like kind of place him in, all of a sudden he just helps where he needs to and then vanishes. Like I like the fact that he is in the Revolutionary Army, but I hope that's just like not his shtick.
Mm.
You know, I kind of want to see. I want to see him more. I want to see him like developed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously
I-
with the
Without spoiling
abilities.
stuff, I will say he does get some positive developments.
Mhm.
That time skip has done wonders for the storytelling because like it wouldn't make any fucking sense if he was without that time skip if he was like second in command of the Revolutionary Army. So like
Yeah.
how have we not heard of him before? But like the time skip definitely makes it be like, oh, he probably just went up the ranks during the time skip.
I also
Yeah.
feel like Luffy just doesn't read the news.
Well, you hear about it a lot beyond the news. Like you met like a big name in the Revolutionary Army, you know, like I don't know.
Luffy didn't know who the admiral was when he saw Kuzan. Like,
No, I know Luffy didn't, but the viewer definitely learns a ton
oh
about
yeah,
them.
that's true. That's true.
It's like you see a scene of the army with like dragon and everything. It's like, you know,
Well, I
Sabo
feel like
just wasn't there.
actually we don't see a lot of what the Revolutionary Army is doing.
So yeah, you see it a few times, and you meet like Iva or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like they're kind of mentioned, but it's like they're not in the Grand Line. They're like working in the other countries, like outside of the Grand Line.
Yeah.
So we don't ever hear about them much.
You're right.
Yeah, it was interesting during some of the backstories you got like a lot of North Blue places,
Yeah, true.
which I feel like you don't see very often.
Yeah, because Law's from the North Blue too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See that? Because
Everyone's
it's
fucked
like
up.
we always forget because it already seems like the world is so big, but like we're only in this small strip of ocean.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like even by the end of the story, I'm sure we only will see a fraction of the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's big, makes sense. Like, you can't just traverse an entire ocean like in the course of
Yeah.
like a story. It's like it's impossible.
I know.
You can try. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jojo the Joe, thank you for joining the observatory. Yeah. Gosh, what happens next? Luffy
Well,
runs
we've been
off.
kind of going. We've been going a little out of order. 'Cause,
That's okay.
you
That's
know,
fine.
It takes a
We've been
while
trying to, like,
for
connect
Sabo to
people
get
because-
Yeah.
yeah.
The manga actually does it quite well, where like we build up the characters and then they show back up when like or their like storylines line up. fascinated.
Yeah, this is a remarkably paced arc for what's happening.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy how much has happened and how easy it was to follow for the most part. Like, obviously some things were confusing, but I feel like in a lot of other cases, if you had a story like this, it would be so easy to get lost. But like,
Yeah.
they do a really good job. Like, yeah, but I think this is probably the point where Luffy, I guess, gets Ace, right? And Ace is like can't move. Or not Ace. What am I saying? Law. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens. You're right. Luffy and Zoro and Kinemon are wearing like the weird animal costumes, and they go and infiltrate the
Or
Doflamingo
no,
Palace.
Kinemon actually finds his friend in the underground, right?
Yeah, because he dresses up as Doflamingo, right?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
does. Yeah.
because he has the garb fruit, which is like so useless.
Yeah.
Oh
Better than the
yeah.
jacket fruit though.
Yeah.
I
He does
forgot
do
that's
that.
his power. I was wondering where he got the outfit. That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his power. He does it in Dressrosa, or not. He does it in Punk Hazard too, where he like makes winter clothes for everyone.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess it was
That's
useful
funny.
this time. But they do wear the Luffy wears like the fish costume.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
and
he
they
made them for
save
them too. Oh.
they save Conjuro,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
who has
Kanjuro.
also a cool power, but I mean,
It's
as an
okay.
artist, Don, would you like this power where your art comes to life?
Yeah, it'd be cool. But I think it's really funny that like he's supposed to be like not a good artist.
He's
Like
not good
that's like
at
the joke. Yeah.
he's not good at drawing. Yeah.
Aw.
I feel like
That's
if I
bizarre.
had
I'm
it.
kind of surprised it took this line to do a power like that, where you like write or draw something and it comes to life. Like,
Yeah, I guess there wasn't a need for it yet.
yeah.
But
What is the guy? Doflamingo's family. You know the dude with the high heels? There's a girl.
oh,
I don't even know.
Dalinger, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Um,
What is his power? What does he do?
he's kicky and he knows fishman karate.
Oh,
He's
he
a
does.
fish man.
That's what
He's
been
half
doing.
fish man.
Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
he fit his fish is, but
Yeah. I think that did they say it now? I forget.
I don't know if they say it.
I mean, he's a fighting fish.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I like how he
Yeah.
like springs into people and stabs them. It's pretty cool looking.
It is funny. Oh, like yeah.
I'm trying to think. So I'm like kind of skimming through it right now too. trying to see
No,
what
so
happens.
Doflamingo has taken Law back to the palace and is like threatening him and stuff. Like you could have been great, but you weren't.
Yeah.
And
Very toxic relationship stuff.
yeah, and Viola is helping Luffy get to that point. So they get to that point and they're like watching through a window.
Mhm.
And then I can't remember what happened.
Kairos is there too, because Kairos
Oh yeah,
has been
Kairos is
unemployed.
there. Yes.
Oh yeah, he just like shows up on the back of their horse or whatever when they're.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there too as
He's like,
well.
take me with you. I have a vendetta to like settle with Doflamingo.
I need to go there. Yeah.
Well, like,
Yeah,
doesn't he
and-
specifically wants to kill the guy that killed his wife?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diamante.
He is there.
Because wait, we didn't even talk about their whole flashback. We need
Oh
to
yeah,
talk about like
we could talk
Rebecca,
about the whole
Kairos
flashback. Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Just once. We don't have to do it 48 times like they did in the anime.
yeah. Just one time is good enough.
Well, I'm not even joking. Like this flashback is so good, but in the anime they showed it literally 48 times. Like
Oh really? Just like
That's-
yeah,
kept
so
showing it.
everyone
Oh,
hates it
God.
now.
I feel like that's something that I could see the anime doing. Is just like too much Rebecca almost. Like her role is pretty small for the most part in like the grand scheme of this arc. So like I feel like I don't know.
Or just
I
like
could imagine
anytime
the
Rebecca or Kairos show up on the screen, they like show this flashback. It's like, come on.
It's like, oh my god.
Stop.
I can
Classic
imagine.
anime. But yeah, so like I guess someone explain the backstory.
So
I think I remember it, but it's up to you.
So Rebecca is the princess, right,
Yeah.
of the kingdom, and her
Deja vu.
what?
Deja vu.
Deja vu, right? I know. And her father was like a convict.
Yeah.
And
And
he
he was sent to be a gladiator in the Colosseum.
Yeah.
and he was like the strongest gladiator. And you actually see a statue of him earlier, but you don't.
Yes.
No one remembers who it was because he had been toyified. And part of being a toy is everyone forgets you. So he's like a super strong gladiator. He like wins enough to like be. He actually wins enough to like leave the Colosseum,
Yes.
but he chooses not to because he's like, I've killed too many people. These hands will never be clean. So he stays in the Colosseum, like wins like 100 more fights. And then finally, like King Riku, the king of Dressrosa at the time,
Yeah.
fights him in a disguise and was like, "You gotta let yourself go, man. Like, even though you were like an evil murderer convict, like you gotta let it go, man. You're better now. You're a changed man." And he
Yeah.
becomes the captain of the guard. And uh, King Riku's daughter, Scarlet, who is Viola's older sister, or Violet's older sister. I don't know what is her real name is and which one's her fake name. But yeah, she is like, I won't accept you because you're like a dirty convict.
Yeah.
And now you think you can just be like the royal guard. And then like I think in like the very next panel, like she's being rescued by him and she's like in love with him now.
Mm-hmm.
So they like have a whole love affair, and then it's a whole big deal because they can't actually like be publicly in love. So they pretend like they're both dead so they can go off and live happily. And then they have Rebecca as their little baby, and Kairos is like, "Oh, I can't touch her with my bare hands because my hands are unclean.
Yeah. But he does
I'm so
anyway.
like messed up from all the murders I used to do."
Right.
So he wears gloves.
Right.
And then that's when like Doflamingo shows back up because Doflamingo had a whole backstory.
Yes.
We'll get to later, but he shows up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking over this place again. I'm the original owner. Like my family was the original owner."
Yeah, he gives
Wow.
like the totally evil ultimatum of I need $1 million.
Yeah, bring me $1 million.
Or I'll take
It's just
over
like,
the whole island.
yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
it turns out to be a ruse because like
Yeah.
after he gets $1 million, he uses his puppety string powers to make King Riku and
Yeah.
like the guards look like they're killing the people,
Yeah,
or like actually kill the people. Yeah.
that was brutal.
Yeah.
Which is also a theme of this arc is like senseless violence
Yes,
and like
yeah.
fighting against senseless violence because King Riku also clearly does not want to kill his own people, but he's being forced to.
Yeah.
So Doflamingo can come in and pretend to be the hero, kind of like how Crocodile was trying to do on Alabasta.
He
Pretend to be the hero.
was. Mm-hmm.
And then they find or Kairos comes to try and like stop Doflamingo, but he gets his leg cut off. Or he gets stabbed in the leg, but he cuts his own leg off so that he can get a good hit on Doflamingo. But then he gets turned into a toy and he escapes before she can like wipe him and turn him into a slave.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything so far? Gosh, there's a lot. It's a long backstory.
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
He gets
and
turned
then-
into a toy and then
Well, then like Rebecca and her mother, Scarlet, are still like starving
yeah.
because they're trying to hide now that the royal family is being hunted down.
Yeah.
And then Scarlet goes to find them some food, gets caught by some Doflamingo people and murdered. And it's because like they can't remember that like Kairos is also there and helping them. So that's why she went out on her own. And then Kairos like carries his wife's like it's dark. He carries his dead wife's body back to a daughter that can't remember who he is because
Yeah.
he's been turned into a toy.
Yeah, she doesn't
Yeah.
even know who he is.
Yeah, and he raises her to be strong enough to defend herself, but he doesn't want her to ever like have to take a life
Yeah.
because he doesn't want her to like be part of this cycle of violence.
And it's like extra sad because he can't like stay at night with his kid. He has to go back to the toy whatever place they
Yeah,
go
this toy
to.
factory.
Yeah.
And he doesn't remember that he's her father. And
Yeah.
there's like a very touching like little montage of him like protecting her, training her, beating up like boys who have crushes on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after the backstory, Frankie's like crying.
Yeah.
Like he always
So
did.
touching.
I feel like that's a very like underrated gag for Frankie.
Yeah, that he,
he's
like,
an
he's just-
emotional guy.
He's an
Yeah.
emotional man. He's super spoiled.
Yeah.
Frankie's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think like the design and the way they draw him and everything of the toy soldier is so cool. Like, it's very good design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
thought it
his
was a
son
good
was
design
leg
too.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're pretty much just like storming. I'm like kind of skimming through it or whatever.
It's okay. Yeah,
They
they
have, like,
Uh,
were they
They have like
infiltrated
a
the
whole
thing.
plan. They're
The-
basically
Yeah.
storming up to Doflamingo, but everything's trying to stop them on the
Well,
way there.
Kyrus jumps him and like cuts his head off.
Yeah, he cuts his head off.
But it
Yeah.
turns out it's just a string puppet. It's not the real Doflamingo.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's like, damn
I
it.
think before that is when they
Mhm.
introduced the Stone Man, right? It's fighting
Oh
Zoro.
yeah, that's
Has a
true. They have to like
high-pitched
run
voice.
past him,
Yeah.
and
Pika.
Zoro
Yeah,
like stops to
Pika.
fight him.
Oh yeah, because there's a guy that with another OP power where he can just control all stone.
Yeah.
Like,
I did like how they established like it's in the course of like a page and a half where they're like, yeah, don't ever make fun of his voice, and Luffy's like, your voice sounds ridiculous, and he's like,
yeah.
Wait, Realm, did you see
Silly.
the clip I posted of his voice?
Yes.
I have personally seen it before
Oh, okay.
before
Okay.
this, and I still laugh at it.
He's just like, Pika, Pika, Pika,
Pikachu!
Pika.
What are you doing? Stop, Luffy! Ah!
I
That's
feel like
pretty
it's a
funny.
rip on Mike Tyson because he kind of looks like Mike Tyson too.
Perhaps.
a little bit,
And Mike
yeah.
Tyson kind of has like a voice that you shouldn't make fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
probably.
Perhaps.
At least maybe
Because
perhaps partially.
Zoro starts fighting him.
Yeah, to hold him off while everyone
hold
else
him
can
off.
go past him.
Yeah. He does says something cool there, like everyone's making a big deal of Luffy, but all the Straw Hats are
Yeah, and then
strong
all the
too.
gladiators are like charging and storming the plateau as well, and then they
Yeah.
all like stop to have their like matchups while the Straw Hats kind of
Yeah.
Yeah,
go up.
that's got a
It
little
feels very
messy.
Impel Down with just like these all these random people that they picked up along the way.
Oh yeah, they made
Yeah.
him make a bunch of friends along the
Yeah.
way, cause heck the government.
Yeah.
Frankie is still like he gets to the Smile Factory, but he has to fight the weird man.
And the
Senor
woman.
Pink. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He also fights that woman with the vacuum that lasts like
Oh
kisses
yeah,
her or
and
whatever.
then he like kisses her, and then he throws her off, and he's like,
She lasted like a page.
Yeah.
yeah,
She was placated.
yeah. And she's like, take responsibility, and he's like, sorry, little girl, it was only a kiss.
Yeah, like what? But it's like I feel like Senor Pink and Frankie are trying to like out manly each other.
Yeah, they try to out anybody.
I love-
they just
that's
take
like-
turns punching each other.
Yeah, it's like an underrated joke where they're saying like they have to outman each other, and then immediately cuts to like him like
Oh, he's
using his
the
nipples to
guy.
fight, and
Yep.
him like using his like nappy bomb, nappy
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
Like,
It's silly.
it's funny.
And then all the onlookers and all like the women who love Senor Pink are like, oh, they're so manly.
Yeah.
Frankie too.
And there's some cutaway where it just cuts to Frankie and fighting Senor Pink, and they stop for a second because a cat gets in the way, and they're like, oh well, we have to let the cat go. We have to let the cat cross by. Like why?
It's because real men don't hurt cats.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. But
Yeah. Very, very positive masculinity.
Yeah.
Here.
It's also probably worth mentioning that in between this, Sugar does wake up and
Yes.
starts kind of going on rampages and making crazy evil toys out of multiple people.
Yeah, she's like super
Oh yeah,
pissed.
yeah. Oh, she's super pissed that like she got taken out, and she takes to own like Doflamingo people.
Kinda-
Yes.
She
Turning
kind of
into
makes that.
dragons.
I was like, when they explain why she's so mad, where she's like, all that work, all that like time I spent making those toys for nothing. And I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense actually. It's like,
For nothing.
Yeah, but she's also
collection.
enslaving people.
no, I know.
When
I
she's
just, like,
essentially saying all that time I spent enslaving people, all for nothing. Come
Right.
on.
All for nothing. It's like, girl,
When
no.
I enslave people, I want them to stay enslaved, please.
Oh boy.
yeah, and then they have God, yeah, I love, oh, man. You're so right about the whole like they can focus on a few characters because Robin has so many good moments in this arc too already.
Yeah.
Like she gets a lot of good screen time where she's
Yeah,
like,
she
you
also
know,
like does a really good job spying in the underground, which we kind of didn't cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did do that.
Uh-huh. But then she does get caught.
Yeah.
But she can make like doubles with her body to like
Mhm.
I like this game.
It was funny. She's just like popping out of the ground. Oh yeah, she pops out of the ground to like let Law know what's going on while she's fighting
yeah.
Doflamingo. It's like, dang.
There's a scene where like her eyes come out of a wall too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to like spy on people. Yeah, her power is like so creative, and I really like how she's doing more than just like hands popping out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she's more than just hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then Sabo and the Marine guy fight too.
Yes.
Yeah, Bastille. He has a name, but it's not that important. He's not that
They
important.
didn't say it enough.
Yeah, they didn't say it enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like out of all the characters in this arc, he might be like F tier. Like, who cares?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's cool, but
He has a cool design.
He's all right.
That's about it. Because there was like Gambia the missionary who got taken out by Maynard the pursuer, who was like actually secretly a Marine fighting in the Colosseum
Yeah.
for Vice Admiral Bastille.
Yeah.
But then he gets taken out immediately by the screen.
That's true.
See, I think around that time is the same time where, Rebecca's dad shows up because the dude that killed Rebecca's mom's like, I'm gonna kill you too because I'm evil, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and he has a really weird power too. He has the ripple fruit.
Oh yeah. But then he shows up, to save him, and he's like, I'm your father. I was the toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god.
I wish they had fought together. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like she doesn't fight, so it's just kind of like, why would she?
I know. I kind of get it thematically why she doesn't fight, because he doesn't want her to be a murderer, but at the same time, let her do something. She hasn't really done anything this arc.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
pretty.
She gave
it's pretty
Luffy
lame.
food that one time.
Honestly, like in terms of like, I hate to say because I don't like to point this stuff out, but it seems like a little tropey at this point where it's like the girl in distress that keeps showing up in these arcs. I think I like her the least, even compared to like the mermaid, which I'm blanking on the name.
Wimpy Hoshi does stuff though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
she's cool. Like she has. I mean, the arc's not over, but like,
Right.
yeah, Rebecca has not done anything interesting, and she's also like mermaid was like she was horny, but like not like it almost was like, well, she's a mermaid, like whatever. But like she's a gladiator. Like why
Yeah.
does she look like that? Like it's so distracting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
I
not great.
agree.
And
that's-
I do like the moment where she pretends to help Luffy by taking him down under the Colosseum a little bit to give him food, and then tries to attack him so that she can win. But
yeah. Oh yeah, in the beginning, yeah.
yeah, Luffy just stops her and is like, you clearly are not actually trying to kill me, so
Yeah.
let's just talk.
Yeah,
You
so
bought
let's
me
not do
food.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I wish she had done more.
I know.
Yeah, she's been
I
pretty.
agree.
She's pretty nothing. She's like been linked to the plot, but
Mhm.
She's just kinda there now.
Yeah, she's like
She's-
there to give stakes to the other characters.
Right, and she's not actually pushing the plot forward herself. That's
Yes.
because this plot has already a damsel in distress princess, and his name is Law.
His name is Law. It's
True.
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 By this point, Luffy's running around with Law in his arms for 10 to 15 chapters.
And every time Law gets a chance to do anything, he's like, "I'm tired," and then he gets the shit beat out of him right after he uses his power.
Yeah,
He gets
he does have
shot by
I think
Doflamingo at one
it's
point. And I
because
was like, "Damn."
he's really OP, but he uses way too much energy.
Yeah, he uses too much of his power at once.
Well,
That one of the
there's
next moments that happens is I was like, huge stupid smile on my face. So when Sugar wakes up, whatever, they have to take her out again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they do such a good job with it. Again, this is another reason why I thought Violet had the hockey, because they show her use the
super
all-seeing
sight,
eye
yeah.
thing, and then shortly after, Usopp is aiming, and he's like, "Why can I sense their presence?" And I'm like, "Dude," I was
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Holy shit!"
Ah,
I was
yeah.
like, "He has hockey." I'm like, "That's so cool."
His hockey's
It's
really
spreading.
crazy. He can actually see their forms, all the way out
Yeah.
in the distance.
That was so cool. I'm such a sucker for that. They do such a good job at that. Where they establish the powers and So when you see him do it, it's like, oh shit.
Right.
Oh, we did skip that at this point because like all the toys have been turned back, and then people are realizing that like Doflamingo's just been a liar this whole time.
Yeah.
And actually been super evil. Doflamingo is like losing control of the situation, so he's like, all right, let me regain control here by saying, well, you could come kill me,
Oh,
but I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna kill you. But instead, you could bring me like the heads of these people, and I'll give you money for it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Luffy and Law and Sabo, and then most importantly of all, like
Oh
Luffy,
boy.
stuff's
Yeah.
like, oh, whew, not me. Like after Luffy is like, most importantly of all, 5-star bounty on this guy.
He's like,
So
no.
good, like a perfect Usopp moment.
It was so funny.
God. Yeah, I love that part
Yeah.
so much.
So it's like Usopp is like in the middle of being tackled by like civilians who want to capture him when he makes that like shot.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, and he like fought because Luffy and Law like had gotten to the plateau and are about to like face Doflamingo, but they're being stopped by Sugar, and they don't
Yeah, and she's
know.
like, here, have a piece of candy, and Luffy doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't know.
And then this gigantic missile comes in through the window.
But it's like a puppet thing.
It's the
It's
drawn
one of
face.
Conjurer's drawings. is
Yeah.
what it
Okay.
is.
Yeah. It's a doll
Yeah.
thing. He said like
Yeah,
make it like
it's
a
just,
doll
it's so
Yeah.
funny.
of
And
his
it's just
horrified
Usopp's-
face.
Dude, it's like Usopp's so he literally like it's like in what's it called in not Impel Down, it's like in Thriller Bark. He like takes advantage of these people's weaknesses. Like
His mental weaknesses.
he's like
Yeah.
he's taking advantage of this girl's trauma.
He's like, I'm just
He's
gonna
trying to, like,
re-traumatize her.
psychologically, like torturing people.
Ah.
I think they even say that it's like it's a weapon designed to re-traumatize a victim.
Yep, he does say that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Usopp. It was a pretty good moment though, and it was very cool
Yeah,
to
it's
see him be a god Usopp again.
Yeah. Him being a sniper king, doing what he does best.
Snipe King.
Did you like this moment, Realm?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
he was getting into serious stuff. He was like wind direction, distance, velocity, setting up everything. And then during the whole segment, he actually could see the spirits of the people inside the
Mhm.
building.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
that was really cool. And then he was getting tackled, and then he did it successfully. And Viola's like, "You did it, Usopp." I'm like, "It was worth it."
It
I
was
totally knew it was gonna happen.
It's true, and like I don't know, I kept seeing comments on everything, and people like earlier in the arc were like saying that Usopp was so lame, and I was like, no, he's cool now. He's cool
Dude,
again.
what?
Yeah.
Usopp's never not cool. Come on. I love
Also,
this
we forgot to
circumstance
mention
where
they're
he
not on a
basically
horse, they're on the cow from the
Yeah,
Colosseum.
they're on the bull. Yeah,
Lucy.
Uzi.
I love the this like arc of like, you know, Usopp wins by doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Falling up. He's
falling up.
He's
Yeah,
falling
that's his
up,
whole
yeah.
character though, and I think it's
Yeah.
great.
It's really
He lies
good.
his way. He fakes it until he makes it, right?
Yeah,
That's
he
what
fakes
it
it
is.
till he
really,
makes
really
it.
lucky.
But
It's
then
like
he
his joke.
he is actually the marksmanship on the boat.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like they always do a
Marksman
thing
on
where
the
it's like
boat.
when
Yeah.
push comes to shove, when it matters, he shows up. You know, like
Yeah.
it's cool. It's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah,
good
it
character.
was the
He's
same thing
genuinely
on the,
such a good character.
on the bridge with the fighting fish. Like, he was like, no, I can't fight these guys. And then Law's like, you're going to have to fight them. And he's like, yeah, okay. And he takes them out, like, actually pretty easily.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he does it. He can do it. He just, like, doesn't
he,
believe
he just
himself
wants to
enough.
complain the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fine. Like he's going through some shit.
It's
Makes
okay.
sense. Like, he's allowed to.
Yeah.
He has low self-esteem.
I missed it an hour and a half in. Are we good to keep going, or would we like to take a small break?
A
I don't know
small
how much
break
more
would be
we
nice.
have.
Sure.
Small break. We don't have a ton, but it's okay to take a small few
Yeah.
minute break.
sure.
Yeah.
I
All right.
feel like
well,
we should also, like, talk about the themes later because
Yes,
there's
Yeah,
a
we
lot.
should.
absolutely.
There'll be probably predictions too for what's
Yeah.
Oh,
going on.
yeah, for sure. Because
What will
we
happen.
stopped at a cliffhanger.
Yes, we do. All right. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Listen to some cool beats while we're gone. Bye. Dude, we're back. Thank you for waiting. We're back to talk about, well, we're only going up to chapter 768, like I have above.
Yeah, so just up to, like, Law's flashback.
Yeah, but we still have a little bit to talk about.
Yeah, we forgot to mention this, like, one, like, very minor moment where, like, Abdullah and Jeets, these, like, two, like, criminals, like, are also just, like, partying and helping.
Yeah.
Luffy, because like everyone, all the gladiators just like love Luffy and Usopp now because they were all turned into toys and now they're not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, they help them take out like Kelly Funk, the stupid jacket man who tried to uh trick our heroes into going the wrong way.
Yeah.
1 second. It's just like this.
They try
I
to.
love how Oda is almost like saying like, oh, in the like tournament arc, you were like wondering which of these characters I would bring back and make important. Turns out all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
All of them come back and do something.
Yeah, like Cavendish comes back and helps out with
Yeah.
his horse.
Mhm.
Bartolomeo comes up and makes like a barrier stairs.
Yeah.
And is
Do
so
we see the ending of their fights or not yet? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay, okay.
I don't think so.
Got it, got it.
Yeah, I know. So like, they. Oh God, what are they called? The dwarves.
I do like how
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Cavendish and Bartolomeo are kind of like the Zoro and Sanji of this whole like
Yeah,
gladiator
they
thing.
kind of are.
Yeah, you're right.
They want the same thing, but they just bicker about it.
They just bicker about it. It's true.
They can't let the
Yeah.
other person be right. That's
Yeah.
just like an undeniable truth.
It is great to see his reaction to each of the different members of the Straw Hats. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Robin, step on me. Like, oh God. Yeah, with the sad factory, they all the dwarfs go and they're like the pink bee squadron tell all of the enslaved dwarfs via air message that they've been betrayed. And
Yeah, because the dwarves have been like super gullible so far.
yeah.
They'll just like, yeah, they like locked Robin up and there's like, we locked you up because you're a bad guy. And then she's like, I'm not a bad guy. And they're like, oh, our mistake. We'll let you go.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just take everything at face value.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they've been tricked to like, because they're such good botanists, they've been tricked to help grow the sad into smile fruits.
Yes. Yes.
Which are fake devil fruits or artificial devil fruits.
Yeah,
Not
artificial
fake,
devil
it's
fruits. Yeah.
artificial.
And
Have we seen someone use an artificial devil fruit?
Yes, we have. Momonosuke has an artificial devil fruit.
oh yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, no, not yet.
Otherwise, no. Yeah.
And his isn't a smile fruit because his was actually made by Vegapunk, which is different.
Yeah.
The smiles are like made by Caesar.
So, I mean, there's another person with a dragon fruit.
There could be.
Is that it's implying?
I mean, we did see dragons on the Punk Hazard Island.
That's true. There were dragons.
I don't think they were.
They were just dragons, I think.
I don't think they were actually people who turned into dragons. They were actually just dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Created dragons.
I mean, there could
So
be.
yeah, you're right. I think there could be like another dragon fruit out there then.
Yeah, because it's like all of the fake, not fake, sorry, artificial
They're
devil
based on
fruits.
another one.
They're all Zoan fruits.
Oh yeah, they did mention that. Huh?
Yeah, they're all Zoan fruits. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
there could be a dragon one that the fake one was based on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
I guess it's a
Cool.
possibility.
It's a cool idea. It's like you see a fake one, that means there's a real one out there.
Because there's only supposed to be like one of each devil fruit, but I guess if you make a fake one, it wouldn't count.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that how it works? I don't know.
I don't know.
Mysterious.
It's a mystery. But yeah, they take down all the guards and they're trying to find the princess, but they can't find her because she's been captured. And they're like, you can only get her back if you help us make these fruit. But then Viola uses her super sight to find her. And then it's relayed via Den Den Mushi.
Yeah, there's like a lot of princesses in this arc. We had Rebecca, we have Princess Manchuri,
Yeah.
we have Trafalgar Law,
Yeah.
we have Sanji.
Sanji. You're right.
I guess Viola is technically a princess too, huh?
Yeah, she's technically a princess too.
Oh my gosh, there's too many princesses.
A million
no
princesses.
wonder that Rebecca doesn't do anything because
There's too many. There's just
Yeah,
too
she's got
many.
she's got hot competition. She's too many of these guys.
yeah.
Against Princess Zoro, like she's going down.
Yeah.
Actually, I think canonically Zoro's chest size is bigger than Nami and Robin's.
could see that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He's
Uh,
got big boobs.
yeah, all it does is work
I know.
out.
I'll read the story. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So they know where she is, but I don't think they show her getting saved. If she does, I don't know. But they know where she is, Princess Mancherry. What else happens? They go up to find Doflamingo. They get rid of the sea stone cuffs on Law. Because that's why he's been carried around for like 15 chapters. Because he can't really move. Because of the sea stone. They get rid of it.
How do you not cut off his own hands and then just like ope no mi his hands back on? I don't know, man.
They could. He probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they approach the field. There's a lot of people fighting on a field. People are like that guy that they were trying to save, the samurai that draws crappy things. Made like a ladder,
but it's really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
No, it's drawn really poorly. That's what
Yeah, because it lets all of the people that are stuck in like the hole get out of the hole in the Colosseum. But it also he also builds another one, so everyone is led to like the king and Usopp and people.
They're trying to like capture them for Doflamingo to like stop this whole thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they actually don't take him to Doflamingo though. They kind of just like say like, "What should we do, King Riku?
Yeah,
we're sorry, we didn't believe you." Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
I love how like Doflamingo, he you're right, he does like kind of like personally go out and do this, but he's also been like a puppet master manipulating the whole situations that people have been in this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. But even then it's like it's like super doubling down on the puppet master because he has like the marionette ability.
Right. Yeah. And also he's like thematically a marionette, like a puppet master.
Yeah, he's like literally a puppet master.
Manipulating people, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny how that works out.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of themings of like deception and shit in this arc.
Yes, lots of deception.
It even starts with like the whole like gambling thing.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
You're right.
I never considered that, huh?
Yeah.
And them trying to trick Doflamingo into like being distracted by Caesar so they can destroy the factory.
Yeah.
And it's like cool because you see like, you know, Usopp's deception is like caused good.
Yeah.
And you see a lot in the backstory with Law. It's
Yeah.
like a big part of Law's backstory, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to like see if I forgot anything before we get to the backstory.
I will say one of the post-chapter things, Oda drew all of the like warlords gender swapped.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking Jinbei looks so cute as a
He
girl.
does.
Cute face Jinbei. I was like, dang.
I
looks
think gender
great
swap, like
regardless.
Hancock looks a lot like Mihawk, like normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, they're cute.
I think Kyra stays behind to face off against Diamante, the man who actually killed his wife, and lets Luffy and Law go take care of Doflamingo.
Yes.
And then Law and Luffy are like teaming up fighting Doflamingo and Treble, who's still there. Like, why does this character exist even? Like, oh my god. But yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
Mucus Man.
He's there.
Mucus Man and String Man versus Rubber Man and OP Man.
OP man. Op man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they start fighting and they the stupid snot man is there and they're like riling Luffy up to fight based on his emotions and not on like strategy.
Right.
And they succeed because it's Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets like kind of punched away, even though they do get a big hit on Doflamingo.
Yeah,
fire.
they pull
Badass
this like
scene.
really
Yeah.
badass move where like Luffy pretends like he's going out to punch Law, but Law has made a gigantic room and he can like operate anything that's in the room. and he
Yeah.
swaps places with Doflamingo, so Doflamingo gets punched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious on how they do that in the anime because I think that is a great example of a manga power where he can swap places because all you need to do is just like one panel he's there, one panel he's not,
Yeah.
and you
I
get
think they
like,
actually do it pretty well in the anime.
oh, they do,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, we can
Sometimes
watch
they
it
add
later.
too much animation to things like that
Yeah.
because I'm always like, oh, it's supposed to be like a blink, like almost like you're not even supposed to see
Mhm.
like. I think it's just such a cool idea, but yeah, that was badass. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they have a whole sound effect for his like blink power.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that Doflamingo is so like menacing and like always smiling, but like I don't know, he's a cool character to see get punched. I don't know, it's
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, it's so interesting to me how he keeps trying. Like he knows that Luffy is an emotional person, so he just keeps trying to pull on his heartstrings more by having Bellamy just be there.
oh yeah, that was really
True.
fucked up. He
Yeah.
was like making like him fight Bellamy and everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Bellamy is like, oh, we did skip that moment, huh? Because they do fight that Bellamy earlier.
Yeah, they fought Bellamy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Luffy's
where
like he's
Bellamy's
changed or whatever.
like he's changed, but Bellamy is like, I believe so long, and I idolized Doflamingo for so long that like I can't just go back on it now. It's like sunk cost fallacy almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sunk cost, yeah.
And he realizes like I chose the wrong man to idolize. I should have idolized you, Luffy. You were the real one this whole time.
Yeah.
God, am I crying over Bellamy? Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
don't cry over Bellamy.
But
Or
he got
Bellamy's
like
cool.
he had like a lot more character development than some like main characters in other anime.
And he's
He
like
sure
not
did.
even he's not even in it that much. Like he
No.
only has like a
Yeah.
handful of scenes, but he's like really well done. I was surprised.
Yeah,
No.
because
Like-
you really see how much I think it's a great example of show not tell. Like you see how much he's like actually changed.
Yeah, that's why I think that moment where he says he went to Skypiea is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because it's
Mhm.
like, wow, like he was like literally that's all his whole thing. He basically beat up Luffy just because he said he wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So for him to like swallow his pride and try to go there as well is like says so much about his character that they don't need to like show
Uh-huh.
you or like tell you. It's like then
And
that's
he
so
mentions he
smart.
like lost his whole crew, but he's okay with it. And it's not really clear whether he lost his crew because they wouldn't go with him because they didn't believe like he did,
Yeah.
or if they like actually died somehow.
Yeah.
It's cool though because I like the fact that One Piece does a really good job with ego and like how to like people with huge egos are like the people who like are the most like delusional. So
Mhm.
it's like him punching Bellamy like that like just brought him down a peg and made him like basically like knocked him into reality a little bit.
Yeah, and
which
he's
is
even
pretty
like
cool.
really depressed afterwards, where like because he loses in his block in the Coliseum, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so weak. I'm so worthless."
Yeah.
And I think that's also like because of the manipulation from Doflamingo, because Doflamingo doesn't consider people who are not useful to him as worth anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
And
how-
there's so many levels to this. My goodness.
It's crazy too how well that feels planned out because I
Yeah.
remember Bellamy and Doflamingo had a connection in like chapter like 200 like
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
back in
you know like
Jaya,
right after
yeah.
Bellamy was a thing they show him like interacting with Doflamingo and it's like
Mhm.
wow they did
Yeah.
a really good job capitalizing on that like if that was the only scene they had to go off of they did a really good job making that all make sense.
Yeah.
I think one thing Oda does really well is he keeps things open-ended enough where like we could have like had Doflamingo kill like Bellamy back then and we wouldn't have questioned it, but he left
Yeah.
it open-ended enough so that like even when he brings things back, whether it was like planned or not, it feels natural.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't actually like planned, it still feels natural.
Yeah, it just feels like really like it feels like perfect that Bellamy was here just to like
Mhm.
put a little especially with the whole deception theming and everything it's like that makes so much sense and
Yeah.
like the ego like because Doflamingo obviously has a huge ego and it's like a big part of like the difference between him and his brother and the backstory so
Mhm.
like yeah
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know, I think the entire scene where Bellamy is just being used and is just like, okay, just kill me now. And Luffy is like, no, we don't have suicidal ideation here. No, and he gets really mad and tries to fix
Yeah.
it. I don't know, it was just a good moment.
Because Luffy sees worth in people beyond what they just like do for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like-
He's like, no, you're worth
It's
it.
just been like a theme like throughout the series with like all of East Blue and
Yeah.
like Um, and
Even
Annie's lobby
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
it's
And
like
that.
it works so
Ace.
well with the overarching theme of like freedom, where it's like Luffy
Yeah.
truly does believe that no one is just bad unless they are. Like, it's like, Bellamy could
Yeah.
be bad at one point but change, and that's
Mhm.
fine, and he's
Mhm.
not like doomed to only be that person. And like Luffy doesn't even have to explain that. That's just part of his character.
Yeah.
Like
Right, right.
it's so obvious that Luffy would think like that because that's his whole thing. He's a pirate. He
Yeah.
believes in freedom. Like
He even does kind of explain it to Law at some point, though, because Law's trying to just leave the island. Like, let's just leave. We were just trying to destroy the factory.
oh yeah,
And he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Luffy's like, I'm not going to leave. Look at the state of this island. I have to help these people.
I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool too. He doesn't even like he literally just says like are you serious? Like look at the island. Like you're gonna leave? Like
Yeah.
and Law's like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
Law's
man,
like, we gotta
bars.
leave. We're pirates. Why do we care? And
gotta
then
rethink the whole
Luffy's
life.
like, we gotta help them. We're pirates. We care.
Exactly. It's like the whole thing. It's like a cool oh man, it's like such a cool thing where it's like Luffy really does embody that like the actual idea of what a pirate is, which is like
Yeah,
ultimate
ultimate
freedom,
freedom,
which is like
yeah.
so cool. Like
Mhm.
This is such a good series.
Yeah.
I really like that about the chapter covers too. I was talking to my friends about that, where like they do a pretty good job, like making like every villain, even Caribou. I hate Caribou, but they made sure he still had like a continuous story,
Ugh.
which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
where
Like
he
they're
looks like one of the revolutionaries who died, and he gets adopted basically by the
Yeah.
grandma.
But I think it's cool that like it would be so hypocritical for a series like that to just be like, no, these guys are going to jail forever. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not the point. We've already established that jail is like worse than hell. Like you can't just like
Right.
say like go to jail, that's it, done. Like they have to like Luffy's basically like, yeah, you can exist in this world if you're gonna be bad, but like know that I'll kick your ass
Yeah.
if you're bad. Like
Like, you're free to do bad stuff, but you're
But
also
you're-
free to face the consequences.
exactly, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that's a cool idea. That's a cool ideology to have for like a shonen pro tag, I feel.
You are right. It is cool to see. I was so happy when it switched over to Jinbei, though. I was like, thank goodness.
I was sick of that guy.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, yay, Jimbo, try it.
Yay.
Jinbei,
We like seeing the
triangle,
cover stories
the
now. I
Jinbei-tron.
dread seeing the covers.
blue triangle. Blue triangle
But,
gives
like, no,
serotonin.
Caribou does like sort of sacrifice himself and get arrested or captured by people.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he gets arrested. He gets captured, right?
Yeah, he gets
forget.
captured,
I
I
don't,
think.
I don't pay attention.
I don't
Yeah,
think he was arrested, yeah. I think he
Yeah,
was
yeah. He was
captured.
captured by someone. We
Someone.
don't even know. Yeah.
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 I was gonna say really quick that I think Doflamingo's power is one of the most like terrifying for me personally. I think the idea of getting like cut by a thin string is like really fucking scary.
Yeah, it reminds me of
Like,
like,
it's just like it's like the most like painful looking quirk to get like attacked by.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like man, when he made like the bird cage and he was like, oh, I can just like enclose it and kill everyone. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention like the whole bird cage.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's
everybody's in a
quite
bird
literally
cage.
trapping everyone so you can control
Yeah,
them.
it's interesting. I was like counting. I was like such a idiot. I was like counting the strings he makes. I'm like, there's no way people can't fit through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get like you can't draw that many. It gets it's implying there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of strings making up it. But
Yeah.
like when they zoom out, it's like 10, and I'm like, that's like
Right.
the size. The gap is like the size of a building according to that.
Eh. Yeah, you're right,
whatever.
though.
It's funny.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess after that they pretty much just cut to the backstory because
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
Law,
did.
Law is facing off against
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like, I want your life because you ruined my life because you killed
yeah.
my best friend.
Yeah, and you could have been so good, but then you were bad.
Yeah, and he was like, "No, I was always this way because of Corazon." And
Yeah.
you're like, "Who's Corazon?" And it's like, "Okay, well, now we get backstory."
Now
There
get
you
the-
go.
a
Here's
long
5 chapters to
backstory.
explain it.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a little story. Okay, I forget. Do we get Doflamingo's backstory first, or do we get Law's?
You
It-
kind of get it at the same time. It pretty
Yeah.
much just cuts to Doflamingo's backstory while you're in Law's backstory.
We get like backstory
Yes.
exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when they do that. It's so
I
confusing.
love backstories. I put
They
a
do
backstory.
a thing where they like change the because they always change the panel backgrounds to
Mhm.
black when it's a backstory,
Right,
but they'll do a
right.
thing where it's like gray when it's like a backstory within a backstory. So it's like
There's just a lot of story to cover.
yeah.
Oh,
There
I love
is.
it though. I think there really wasn't any other way to do it. Like what it would feel so forced to like give
No,
this
it's
backstory earlier.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right.
I didn't expect laws to be so connected um to Doflamingos, but I do
Yeah.
have a I was just gonna say I do have some I no it's not criticism, but the way after Law's backstory made it very clear that Oda did not know what to do with that character when he first wrote him.
Oh yeah.
Because his
I
tone
think he's been on
very
record
much
as
shifted.
saying he did
Yeah.
not know.
He
Yeah,
didn't
because
know
when
what
you
to do.
when you meet Law, like he's very like kind of delinquent kind of vibe, like sort of like middle finger, like huge like grin, you know,
Yeah,
like
when you meet him in
very
Sabaudi,
yeah. But it's like now he's very like edgy, but like his backstory makes that fits. Like he would be very edgy in his backstory. Like he's kind of went through some real bad stuff. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
He's the emo princess. I told
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's weird how much his tone shifts after that. I thought there was something. I thought something happened between the time skip to make him like that, but I'm like,
No,
oh
he's just
no,
like that.
they just basically rewrote him, like or like
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
wrote him after the time
Yeah,
skip.
he was like very gangster, edgy before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does someone want to explain the backstory? I can
Oh,
explain
God.
it too. I think I remember it. I read it earlier today, so.
I mean, I read it yesterday, but we can tag team.
I feel like I've talked too much, so I don't want to.
No, it's okay. I will start, or you could start.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me see.
Go ahead.
So, it starts with Law just like infiltrating or just going into wherever Don Quixote, Doflamingo is somewhere in the past with like a bunch of grenades on him. And
Yeah,
they're like,
he's
I'm
gonna,
gonna
like, suicide bomb.
I'm gonna blow you up because I hate everybody. I hate the whole world. It starts with that. But then he doesn't blow himself up, obviously. And he just becomes part of the Don Quixote like crew, or he's like in the provisional.
Yeah.
He might become part of the crew of the family.
He's with the kids,
Yeah,
with
he's with the kids, with
like
Baby
Baby
Five
Five,
and
Buffalo.
the helicopter man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Baby Five is very cute as a little kid too.
yeah.
So it's like he wants to become part of Doflamingo's family because they also want to like mess up humanity. And he also has a lot of hatred. We don't really know why, but he thinks that he has to go through. They have to go through Corazon first, or whatever. They have to like deal with Corazon, who hates children, but and is very clumsy.
Yeah. Corazon is like the silent younger brother of Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Who apparently like went missing for a while and came back as a mute, and he hates kids.
Yeah, he hates kids. And they're doing a lot of stuff, but Law takes out his anger on Corazon and stabs him one day. That's the same day that Doflamingo has decided to make him part of the family. And Law's like, oh god, I'm gonna get called out. But Corazon doesn't. He doesn't say anything. Because he's silent.
Yeah. He could have written it down if he wanted to.
Yes,
but
he could
we'll
have.
find out that
But
he doesn't.
he doesn't. He just Doflamingo's like, what happened, dude? He's like, enemy. He's like, oh, well, fuck him up, man.
Yeah, he just says enemies, yeah.
Yeah. Enemies. Yes. So he starts training, and one day the kids are all talking and they want to know Law's real name, so he tells them his real name, which I don't remember the full name.
Okay, so it's Trafalgar D. Water Law,
D.
and it's
Water
because
Law.
it's a reference to the two cities where Napoleon lost, the Battle of Trafalgar, and
Yeah.
the Battle of Waterloo.
I wondered if that was the case.
It's very dumb, but it works.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got a D in his name.
Yeah.
What that means.
D, he's got the D.
He's related to Usopp.
He's related to what?
Usopp D, Sniper King.
Yep,
Yeah.
Ahsoka
He's
King.
related to Caribou. Caribou the
No!
Sludge Man.
So Corazon takes him aside to talk to him separately. And you're like, wait, what? And he has a voice? Because, yeah, he could talk the whole time. He just decided not to. And he has the silent fruit. Or calm fruit? I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
I think it's calm fruit.
Calm,
Yeah.
calm.
Fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he can make,
It
like...
can turn things silent.
Yeah, make things silent, turn areas of space into silence, and they
Mhm.
talk about how he has to get away from Doflamingo because he just wants to. Doflamingo's an evil dude, and if you have a D in your name, that means you can change humanity and kill
Yeah.
God, right?
But the thing
Someone
is,
explain that better than me.
you're the enemy of the gods.
Yeah.
right. It said that the people with the other name are enemies of the gods, whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means.
But yeah, it's because like also celestial dragons are the like quote unquote gods.
Yeah.
But also like Trafalgar Law is like super depressed because he has this like terminal illness
Yes.
from Flevons, which was the city he was from. And his parents were both doctors, but there was this terrible, like basically leprosy disease. Though it wasn't, it's more like black lung, because
Well,
it was like
It's like lead
It
poisoning.
it was based on the mines
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
mining.
of course it has to be like
Exploitation.
the
of
government's
people.
fault. Like
Yeah.
it's always the government's fault, where
Yeah.
they basically
Yeah.
didn't tell them that it was poisonous, but they
Poisonous.
knew. Yeah.
And then when it came out that it was poisonous, they treated it as if this disease was contagious, so they could just like blow them all up and kill them all
Yeah.
Yeah.
without anyone helping them, even though it's actually not contagious. Law
So,
watched his whole family die to the
And
disease.
all that, man, that was pretty dark. All the kids in his
Yeah,
class
it was
too.
really
Yeah, it was really, really dark. That like the kids that were going to escape, but actually got like killed by the military because
Yeah.
they wanted to hide what they had done.
Mm-hmm.
So he hates everything now, which like fair enough.
Yep. Yeah, and then I think right after that, it just like basically just hard cuts to like Doflamingo's family being like tortured too.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
yeah, which that part kind of confused me a little bit too. But so like, I guess it's kind of explained now that so Doflamingo was part of a celestial dragon family.
Yes.
Okay, and then they got out of being a celestial dragon, or
Yeah,
like they
so
basically quit.
Doflamingo's father, Don Quixote, whatever.
Yeah.
Saint Don
Was like,
Quixote homing.
Yeah, he was like, we are not actually gods. We're not better than those people. We got to stop this. So I'm gonna go live among the people, because this is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, he was like a good celestial dragon who realized that this whole system is super corrupt.
Yeah.
But instead of like welcoming him or anything, the people like hate him because they're like, you're a celestial dragon. We don't care what you said. Like you're part of this like evil system, and
Yeah.
like the celestial dragons, like this is our only chance to get like revenge on like all the celestial dragons who have wronged us.
Mm-hmm.
So they like chase them down and torture them, and then he's like, I'm so sorry, please, I'll accept my like responsibilities, like my decisions, but at least take my kids back. And then the celestial dragons are like, no, you suck. You chose this life.
You chose the life.
Yeah, it's like, man, like again, I remember hearing like, well, One Piece, I don't know, it's not like serious. Like I like political show. Like I'm like, man, like One Piece is like going into some really deep territory where it's
This
like
is for like a side character too.
yeah, it's like
not
it's so
even
it's like an
true.
interesting idea where it's like the celestial dragons are basically heralded as gods because they were like the first humans, technically, like the first like
Well, they're not
descendants
even the
of
first
humans.
humans.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's true.
Oh, I thought that was. I thought they
No.
looked. Oh well, whatever.
It's
Whatever the
because
case.
something in the Void Century, they did something.
Yeah,
and
they
then
did
became the
something.
king.
Gotcha. But
Which honestly, at this point, is probably they exploited someone.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a thing where it's like the government sees them as important, almost just to have a status figure, like just to have someone in the top, just to like make other people lower.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Mm.
very political. Like, and then of course he's like, oh well, I'll live among the people, they'll respect me for that. Everyone's like, these are the worst people, like everyone's against them, which is
Yeah.
cool because they show you before that everyone's terrified of the celestial dragons, but it's like if they
Mhm.
could, they would like torture them. Like they don't,
Mhm.
but they're like too afraid of like the repercussions. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very
Because
cool
if you
topic.
know, if you punch a celestial dragon, you're gonna get an animal called on you, which is what
Yeah.
happened in Spouty.
Yep.
But yeah, they pretty much just show that like, they burn their house down and they tie them up and torture them and
Yeah, they like
you know,
crucify them. Like, holy
yeah,
cow.
shooting stuff. And I like how they show that Doflamingo takes it very like, why don't these
It's
people respect me?
almost
Like I'm,
like a nature versus nurture thing because both Doflamingo and Corazon are both like being tortured the same way.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like they're just two of them. They're both reacting differently,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like the way it's an ego. It's like that's why I think it's really cool that they bring a lot of this ego thing into it because like it's Doflamingo never loses that ego. Like he always has that like, I'm better than people. Like
Yeah,
these people
they
should work for
shouldn't treat me
me.
this way.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
these people should work for me rather than like I think Corazon sees it more as yeah, like every this is a deeper problem than just like they're bad people, No,
Mhm.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they establish that so fast where it's like makes so much sense where it's like the brothers are the opposite reactions of the same circumstance.
Mhm.
And because of that, Doflamingo gets
Yeah, and
powerful and his brother
it's to
dies.
the point where like their mother dies from sickness, and then their
Yeah.
father like Doflamingo is even angry at his father for like even taking them out of Marijois and bringing them down here to a world that hates them.
Yeah.
And he kills him. He kills his own father
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
'Cause
is,
he's just like-
bro.
he's so into like the idea of he should be powerful. He deserves more
Yeah.
because of his birth. That like anyone who gets in his way deserves to die,
Mhm.
Yeah.
including his own family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it keeps kind of jumping back and forth, but Law starts over the years. They raise Law, and his sickness starts getting worse.
Mhm.
So Corazon's like, oh, we gotta fix that. Like,
Yeah.
and I think he just kind of wants him to get away from when he finds out that he's the D or whatever. He just wants him to
Mhm.
get away from Doflamingo.
And also just help him. And again, it's like this idea of like Law has value, even if he's not like useful.
Yeah.
Just people have
Yeah, it's like
value.
he doesn't deserve to just be thrown to the wayside. Like, and I think it's cool because I think Corazon probably sees that in himself because he was kicked to the wayside for reasons that he didn't control.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
like him being just a descendant of the D would literally get him killed by Doflamingo, but like he doesn't deserve that. Just the same way Doflamingo didn't deserve that, but like
Yeah.
Doflamingo doesn't see it that way because he's twisted, and like I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. Like,
Yeah. It's true.
yeah, but then they escape and try to find a hospital, but everyone's like, no,
And
he's
no one takes
spooky."
them because of
Yeah.
something he can't control,
Yeah.
because of the disease that they still think is contagious.
I like, oh man, they Corazon's so cool. He like keeps beating up the doctors because they're like, he's scary.
Like,
and he's
how
like, shut
could
up.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he finds out. I don't know how he finds out about it. Oh man, that was so.
No, he finds out because he's a government mole. He's
Yeah.
a mole in Flamingo's.
Well, no, I'm saying how he finds out about
boy.
the fruit. That's what
Oh,
I was gonna
his.
say.
It's because-
uh,
Because
because-
he's a government
yeah.
mole.
well,
I thought that
'cause
scene was
his-
really good too. Oh,
Oh, no,
sorry.
it's okay. No, because Doflamingo calls him and is like, "Hey, we have the op fruit.
Oh,
we know
yes,
where it is."
yeah.
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 And the Marines are making a trade of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
thought that
it's like really quick, but the person who's trading the fruit is named like Diaz something, but it's Diaz Drake's father, the
Oh.
dinosaur man.
Oh.
And you see Diaz Drake like really briefly as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, because
Doesn't he beat up Mudman in the thingies?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Diaz
that it's
Drake.
that's it. Not that that's the same, but. Oh yeah, X Drake.
That becomes important later because they say like a single boy has escaped with the Marines, but it's actually Diaz Drake.
Oh.
I do like the scene when he's like putting Law to bed and saying like, oh yeah, like that time you stabbed me way back then. It's like it didn't hurt one bit. Like the pain was all yours. And he starts
Yeah.
crying, and then Law
Yeah.
starts crying, and it's like
Oh.
They're good.
He
Yeah.
loves you, man.
Yes, I mean, I feel like he's just named Corazon because he's named Corazon, but it's like, oh, he has such a big heart, just like his
Yeah.
name, the Corazon. I mean, his
Oh,
name
yeah.
is like Rosinante or whatever, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like
Um,
Doflamingo ship Swan.
yeah,
thing with the
it's just a
sunglasses.
flamingo.
Or flamingo, yeah. Swan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that. I also liked the scenes where like the literal baby Dallinger is just like sitting on the cannon, also killing people.
Oh yeah, true. And then Giola raised him, and that's why he cross-dresses, because it's Giola, the art lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like so many like very subtle character details that you just like blink and you'll miss it kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just
Mhm.
like it wasn't even important to mention this. Like why? This is not important, but it's cool that it exists.
And Senior Pink is like not a baby yet.
Oh yeah, it's
I
true.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets babyfied later.
Yeah.
Do we find out why he got babyfied yet or no?
No. We don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. And we just know at some point he gets babyfied, obviously, because it's a flashback.
Yeah, okay.
No.
But yeah, I guess they show up and he steals the fruit
Yeah.
Mm.
and shoves it down Law's gullet.
Yeah. He's clumsy though, and he gets like, he falls and gets caught and
Yeah.
shot a whole bunch.
Oh,
He just like me for real, for real.
true.
Yeah.
Shot a bunch of freaking Oh yeah, then Law goes over to a Marine and it turns out to be Virgo.
Virgo,
like,
yeah.
what are the odds? Like,
Yeah.
Just like the worst luck
Yeah, that hurt.
possible. Mm.
Like, ugh,
Um,
why?
That explains why like Law had a history with Virgo back on Punk Hazard too.
Yes. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, true. I didn't
Yeah,
think
and he
about
did
that.
get revenge on Virgo. He like murdered him.
He did.
Yeah, is he dead? I think he's dead.
Virgo,
dead, right?
Virgo and Monet are both dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's intense.
which is like wow, they're actually like legitimately character deaths that like they don't come
Yeah.
back.
Hi.
Yeah. I like Monet though. She was hot.
Oh yeah, but she
She was
was.
and funny with her stupid glasses.
Yes.
I respect the fact that
silly
he's
glasses.
able to kill a hot girl though. A lot of
I
a lot of
know.
shonen and stuff are like, no, hot girls can't die. They have to be important.
Yeah,
Like,
they have hot girl armor.
My hot girl.
and that was so sad.
Hot girl
before...
hockey.
That was so sad when Corazon was dying and like he was sitting in the chest, like
Yes.
and he was like saying he was talking to Doflamingo, but he like knocks on the thing right before he says this, and he's like, "I'm sorry for lying. Like I just didn't want you to hate me." And it's like,
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he tells Law, "I love you" before he
Oh,
like closes.
yeah.
He gives him like a really stupid bloody smile.
That was very, very cute.
Mm.
That I teared up a little bit. I was like, oh, he loves him.
Yeah. And he's like, don't worry, like Doflamingo's my brother. There's no way he would kill me, even though he knows full well like Doflamingo killed his dad.
Yeah.
And
So
again,
he's
I
fucking
love the
sorry.
deception lying theme that's
Yeah.
like fully through this, where he lied about a lot of things to help Law, like make him trust him and stuff. But it was
Yeah.
like to better their bond together because they knew like Law like had every reason to like hate him if he said he was a Marine, but he like wanted him to trust him, and it was just like really, it was like to show you that like deception, like what like both Doflamingo and Corazon are so good at. Like one person's using it for good and one person's using it for bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, it's really hyperbolic issues, like literally Usopp and Corazon lying are like to save people.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, sometimes lies can be good, used for
Yeah,
good.
it's like showing
Yeah.
you like, deception is strategic
Like two sides of the same coin.
but
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't necessarily always mean it's bad. It's just cool. It's like it'd be so boring to just be like, yeah, the theming is lying. Look how many people lie and do bad things. Like
Lying bad.
Oda's so smart to be like, this person's gonna lie, but like you're gonna have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, because
I
like
think that's a thing that like Oda does really well. He makes a theme, but he doesn't tell you what's right or wrong. He lets you kind of like he shows
And,
you like both
man,
sides.
how genius is that for One Piece, where like the whole
Right.
theme is like freedom, like there is no right and wrong. Like you have to
Oh,
like treat
yeah,
people
choose
good.
reasonable.
That's what's right. Like
Yeah,
mhm.
it is.
Because
Like,
then
that's-
there's the same thing with the fishmen too, with like Arlong versus like Fisher Tiger versus Jinbei.
It's
Yeah.
true. So ultimately, Law gets away by sneaking
Mhm.
away in the treasure chest that he was hidden in. Well, he sneaks out of the treasure chest, obviously, but it's so sad. Like he's like crying, but no one can hear him cry because he has the calm fruit
Yeah.
power
no,
used on him.
yeah.
But it's good that no one can hear him.
I know that was like, oh man, it felt poetic.
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
you feel
Did
about
damn
Corazon and
good job.
everything?
Um, I really liked it. It didn't hit me tier wise because as you know it's like it's day blank since last cry incident for One Piece for me, but like I don't know, it just felt like overwhelmingly sincere. Like
Yeah.
you understood sincerely what Doflamingo feels because of what happened. You sincerely feel that everyone there feels like a family for no matter what reason, even if it's a really weird setup for all this, and just like the relationship between Surazan and Law. I don't know, it just felt really right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just kind of got caught up in its storytelling, not so much the emotion of it. Which I mean, I still was, you know, it was a darn shame, but I just kind of knew that that's how the story had to go.
Right.
For him
right.
to
Like
be
you knew it
this
was gonna
powerful,
happen.
That's true.
and for him to survive this and to like get through and become like who he is to help Luffy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, story-wise, I can understand why they had to do it. Just
Yeah, I think they also did a really good job building up who Corazon was, similar to how they built up like Whitebeard.
Oh yeah, he's not there for
Even though we
long,
totally
but
know like Corazon is gonna die, like
yeah.
he still is built up in a way where we like care and we like understand his character a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I wasn't expecting to cry either because like I knew he was gonna die, but
Yeah.
it really took me back that because he was like I love you, and I was like, oh, that's such a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so heartfelt. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because
Yeah.
after like so long of being told he's like worthless and no one wants him.
Yeah, it's okay. Corazon.
Yeah.
Corazon loves you.
Especially with like, losing everybody kind of thing. It's like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely one of the more tragic backstories. And that was like pretty cool that like, because he keeps upping the ante with that. Where I'm like, oh, the last really big backstory I think we really got, I guess, was Luffy's. That's pretty tragic,
True,
but like
true.
I guess
Yeah.
like maybe not like Robin's just pretty dramatic. Like that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, Laz is really dark. Like,
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really
I
dark.
mean, it's actually very similar. Law and Robin have a very similar backstory where their entire like
Yeah.
island gets destroyed by the
Yeah.
government.
Yeah, they
yeah,
do.
yeah,
That's why they're both goth.
yeah. They're both cool.
Girl.
Both hot. They're both hot and goth.
Hot
Wait, is that how you become hot? You just need to like.
Your whole island has to be destroyed. Oh
This is
no.
how you become a character on a Hot Topic t-shirt, guys.
Oh, that's bad though. Don't wish for that. But yeah, we basically end with at the backstory, which is very
And like
touching
Law
point.
revealing to like Doflamingo that like I'm a D2.
Yeah, I'm a D too. Yeah.
Yeah. All that time you hated me, but actually like or like you believed in me, but I'm a D this whole time. Which I don't know. I feel like if we knew what the D meant, would it help?
Yeah, it would help.
But it pisses off Doflamingo, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, it made him angry, and so it's fine. And then yeah, there's a slow like in the last chapter anyway. There's like a ramp up of showing everybody getting ready for their final battles. I feel like.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like it was a good idea to take out the other Straw Hats temporarily because otherwise there would be too many fights.
yeah, there'd be so many fights.
Mhm.
I like the crew that's here now, but
Yeah, I think that's good now, and because there's also the gladiators too.
Yeah,
Like
and
that
the
would be a lot of
gladiators.
characters, and Law, and like the royal family. Like there's so many people.
yeah, not that I don't like Nami and Chopper and Sanji and
Right,
Brook,
right.
but yeah,
Mhm. Like it just feels like more focused rather than spreading it too thin.
yeah, yeah. I think it's all right though.
Mhm.
It's good. Well, we can't really give our rating yet because we're not done with it.
Yeah. Well, okay. I guess we can give our prediction for how well you've been enjoying it so far.
Oh, that's
So,
true.
like, what rating would I guess give it so far? I guess we can't give the objective rating yet, but like personally, how are you feeling?
Oh.
Who wants to
Uh,
go first?
Sure, I can go first. I think like right now it's like an 8 to me. Like I am really enjoying it. I don't know how it's going to end. I'm not like worried about how it's going to end, but I can't give it a higher rating until like I know the ending, I feel like. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I really like it. I think it's very tightly paced. It amazes me how much plot there is in these like 68 chapters.
Mhm.
And how much is being covered. How many different very nuanced themes are being brought up and how they're being like brought up again and again in different ways.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And Usopp was cool. I like that. Yay, Usopp.
Yeah. Got it.
Got Usopp.
Got Usopp. And Frankie was cool too. So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'll probably give it an 8 as well. I think there's a lot of good themes. There's a lot of good pacing and characters. Even like, man, I think a lesser mangaka will like have so much trouble juggling all of the plots and characters that are going
Yeah,
on.
like any writer. It's like he's so good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I think you're right. He might have been planning this while he was writing Punk Hazard, because Punk Hazard was kind of a mess. But yeah, I think this makes up for like the mess that was Punk Hazard, because has been super tightly written.
Yeah, I was like, I just gotta get them to Dressrosa. Ah.
Yeah.
Mm. That is true.
Um,
I think. Do you want to go first on?
I was gonna follow up saying like, yeah, I think Punk Hazard was safer, kind of. It was like
Oh,
the warm up arc for this one, kind of.
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, I feel like it actually in some places like Dressrosa is playing it safe because it's kind of like going through the same kind of plot points we loved from Alabasta, but like pulling its own twist on it.
Yeah, it's definitely way more involved than Punk Hazard.
Right,
I
there's a
think,
lot
yeah.
more going on than Arabasta, but like at least like the kind of like foundation is very similar, so that he can play around with a lot more stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Realm, you were saying.
Yes. I was just thinking I'm gonna be just a tiny bit different. I'm gonna do 8.25 because I was also thinking 8.
8.25.
Alright,
What you guys said about Punk Hazard, yeah, there were about 5 to 7. You can maybe count 8 different sort of subplots during Punk Hazard,
Mm.
and it was a mess. This time, I feel as if Oda will be able to clean it up well, and not to say that they will all finish, because as Toto has pointed out to us every time, these little things mean something later down the line, so it's never a case closed type of thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he'll just land it really well,
Mhm.
and it has certainly exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't like this arc because of the anime. I think the anime absolutely ruins this arc.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that from everyone I've
It
talked to.
slows the pace down way, way longer, and it ruins the excellent pacing from the manga.
It's a
Because,
shame.
like we just said, like a lesser storyteller would like mess up all of these plot points.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
it
a
doesn't
shame to
help
see
that
the anime
they
do that.
wanted to like stall for time and play a million Rebecca flashbacks.
That actually clarifies a lot for me because a lot of my friends have been telling me like Usopp doesn't get any cool moments now. In the post thing, I was like, "This is pretty cool,"
Yeah.
This is great.
and they just
I think
forgot
also,
probably.
I think also like what defines a cool moment for Usopp is very different from what defines a cool moment for all of the other characters.
That's
Like,
true.
he's not a direct fighter.
That's
He's
true.
supposed to be the sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah. This arc specifically is making me such a manga shill for this series now. Like, I've heard the same thing. Me and my friends were literally talking about that earlier today, where they were like, yeah, just be glad you're not watching the anime, and they was telling me some details about some things that happened and I'm like, damn, that's such a shame. I hate seeing animated adaptations of comics like fumble the ball so hard. Like, it's such a shame. And like and this is such a remarkable I genuinely think this is like one of my favorite arcs so far, just
Oh,
in terms
really?
of writing. I love the way it's written. It's so well done.
Hmm.
But it would be really disappointing if I saw them mess it up, because it's like, dang, this is a
Yeah.
really impressive piece of writing prowess that Oda's like handling right now. I don't know if it's like I'd probably be on like if I guess for my rating it'd probably be around 8 as well right
Yeah.
now. But it is really cool. Like it's just like it's amazing how long it's been. Like I was just 700 chapters in. This stuff's still really exciting. Like
Yeah.
like he's still able to make such a cool, interesting story in these
Interesting
arcs. It's like
characters, like unique characters too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's like again, like I remember I was so impressed with like, way Whitebeard. Like I didn't really give a shit about Whitebeard, but then when they introduced him, I really do. And it's like, man, they've done a really good job doing that with like Doflamingo and his brother and stuff. It's like I really didn't know anything about Doflamingo before this, and it's like I'm like he's like a really cool villain now.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more weight to him rather than just like
Yeah.
cool bad guy. Like he's got
Yeah, he always looked like the cool bad guy, but now he is the cool bad guy.
yeah, and it's like I think it like really it's super impressive how much stuff there was going on in these chapters. As long as it's been like it's been like 70 chapters or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like I've been reading like stuff like My Hero, and it's like pulling teeth sometimes trying to get through anything. But the pacing is so well done, and One Piece doesn't waste
It's
any
so
time.
dense.
Like
Mhm.
every chapter, something cool happens. It doesn't feel like I'm wasting any time, which is really cool. And it's all like remarkably simple too. It's like pretty impressive how like it's pretty easy to follow for the most part. Like there's a lot of stuff happening, but like it's all pretty simple, It's nothing like too crazy complicated, which I think is cool too, because it's a shonen. It's made for like teenagers and kids,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is like
It's very
really important.
understandable. It's very, I guess, it's not that it's simple so much as it is parsable, because there is complex stuff to talk about, like
Yeah,
themes
it's like
and stuff, but it's very easy to read.
yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
moment to moment. It's really simple, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very understandable. You're not like struggling to like figure out what's going on.
yeah. This is like a really good example of how good Oda is at this arc. I feel.
Mhm.
Which is again so strange because when I see people talk about this, like Dressrosa is like probably the toughest arc to get through, and I'm like, really? So I'm
Yeah.
like really into it now.
I think it's also like one of the main criticisms of One Piece is how simple it seems.
Yeah, it's not.
When it's not simple, it's just like feels simple because like it looks so goofy and it's really easy to read. But when you really take a moment to think about it, there's like so much going on under the hood.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and even if you're not looking deep into it, there's like 6 plot lines going on right now. Maybe 6 is
Yeah.
too many. There's at least 4.
Yeah. It's definitely like complex, but
Yeah.
it's easy to read. It's easy to follow along.
yeah. I
Yeah.
guess it's like I always there's like a difference between like complex and confusing. I guess
Yeah.
Right, right.
it's like it's not confusing. It's like complex. Like there's definitely a lot of moving parts, but
Mhm.
it's still pretty easy
I
to
get you, I
follow,
get you.
which is
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's like how I totally different piece of
I
media.
totally
but,
agree with you. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to like, I guess, say it for the viewers. So, like, just reword it, I
Mm-hmm.
guess,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so that the viewers understand what we're talking about here. Because I'm totally on board with you.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, I do get it. Yeah. I
I
feel
love
like I
it.
am going to tell my friends to just go reread the manga instead of just
Yeah, if
watching
anyone,
the anime.
it's so funny now. If anyone asks me about One Piece, I'm like, read the manga, read the manga, read the manga, read the
Yeah.
manga. Like, I have tried to watch the anime, and I am now gonna be such a show for this.
Although
Apparently,
There
the
is
newest
like
arc's
there is
really
the edited
good.
version of the anime that like
I mean, I'm a,
Hmm.
better.
I will
So,
say, I mean, like, again, as a comic artist, I'm biased. Like, I try to remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever I watch an animated moment, I'm pretty disappointed, and like, it's kind of a shame.
I'm excited
I
to get
think,
to be able to
Like
watch the
the
movies
fights and
though.
stuff are cool. Yeah, and the movies are cool.
Yeah.
But the
I've heard
movies
the
aren't
newest arc
canon.
is really good in terms of animation and budget. I guess I
I
don't know.
don't know.
The latest arc has been really good in terms of animation, but editing wise, it's still the anime. Like
Ah,
they really ruined some of the animation with horrible editing, where they played
Ah.
like shots twice.
oh yeah.
And when they didn't, it was like an excellent episode. And then they were like played it twice, and I was like, "What are we doing? Why?"
I'll just watch the scenes on like the Sakuga Buro or whatever it is, the animation thing.
Yeah. There's been some excellent Sakuga.
Yeah,
fuck yeah.
oh my god. Yeah, I have such a pet peeve now with manga or like manga adaptations that just like are just focused on being the new hot anime, and like just
Yep.
getting it out the door, not worrying about it's like I've now experienced such good adaptations where it's like Mob Psycho completely
Yeah.
reinvented what it means to be a manga adaptation in my brain now, and now it's like the golden standard. And like, if any show is not as good, I'm like, why did Mob Psycho do it so well? Like, you have no excuse. Like, I guess One Piece is a lot of episodes,
Yeah.
but like, it also makes a lot of money. So
Yeah.
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 It's actually really sad how like phoned in it felt Dressrosa was in the anime.
that
Aw.
sucks. This doesn't. Dressrosa doesn't deserve that.
I know.
That is too bad.
I
Yeah,
think it is also because they need to release weekly. Like, it's not the animator's fault. It's
No,
Oh,
I
like
would never. I would blame like it's like a
it's
system
a produce.
issue.
It's like production.
Yeah.
Like the problem with the production mentality of we need to release this every week.
And honestly, in a lot of it, like I hate to just get like tinfoil hat, but a lot of it does come down to like people who consume it sometimes. Like if there wasn't One Piece every week, I know a lot of anime One Piece fans would be really upset about that, and they're really
Yeah.
worried about that. And it's like
Yeah.
some people just need to be like, no, this is like somebody else's creation that they're at, like adapting. You have to know that like. And Oda doesn't care. Like, Oda's like, I'm not. He is like, he said it a million times. He hasn't even seen all the episodes of the anime. He's
Oh yeah,
like,
how can he? He has no time.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm the manga artist. The anime artists are anime artists. Like, they do their own thing. I do my own thing. Like, I tell them that works, but like, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, it's hard to blame anyone specifically. It's just kind of the system itself. Like,
Yeah.
it's a totally different, like manga and anime are just totally different mediums that don't always work. And yeah, I have seen some of the scenes I've seen from Dressrosa. Like I was just watching that scene where Law like teleports and hits Doflamingo. It just like all seems pretty cheap, and I feel like it didn't early on. I feel like some of the earlier episodes didn't feel like that. But I think
feel
just,
like they also just kept on a lot of the like animators who like have been working on One Piece since forever.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
And like I think what might have also happened is the animators that worked on One Piece that were good have since left and gone on to like do other things.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like leaving the
I've
like
heard-
old hats.
Yeah, I've heard some of the new stuff. I've just seen it because I follow a lot of animators on
All
Twitter.
right. The new
Some of
stuff they like have totally brand new like novel
Yeah.
animators.
They got
and
new
it's
blood. They have
really
even
good.
American animators.
Oh,
for a lot
yeah.
of it, too, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see. I'm definitely going to be like simultaneously watching watch a fight scene from the anime after I read it in the manga or something for those
Mhm.
later arcs because probably won't be as disappointed every time I watch one right now. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's animated by Toei too, right? Toei has like
Yeah.
Yep.
unfortunate
has a bad track record.
issues.
Th-
Yeah.
they-
Such a hit or miss, yeah.
I mean, just look at like Dragon Ball Super with what
Oh,
happened
God.
with that.
Yeah, it's like they'll invest in certain things and not in others. Like I do watch Pretty Cure a lot, and some
Yeah,
seasons are great and some are terrible.
Yeah, my girlfriend's
Yeah.
really into that. And, like, she's like, it hits.
Some
when it
they'll
hits,
just
but
like
then
phone in
it's-
for the money, and it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah, that's what's sad though, because it's like, to me, it's like a manga deserves more than that. Especially if you're adapting it. It's not like, to me, if you were a producer of an anime and you need to
especially
worry
when
about
it's like one
budget,
of your most popular series of all time. I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, with
it's
One
like-
Piece,
it's One Piece.
yeah, it's like this is like, to me, it'd be like handling like the most precious piece
Baby.
of treasure
Yeah.
ever. Like you need to like, this is like amazing story written by this.
What
like,
if One
like,
Piece
just,
is
like,
the One Piece? What if
yeah,
the
this
One
is just
Piece
this
treasure is the
insanely-
manga?
Yeah, it's maybe this insanely passionate dude. It deserves like every ounce of quality it can possibly get. That's why Mob Psycho's so good. That's like, to me, Mob Psycho is a love letter to Mob Psycho, like the manga, which is like what it should be.
Mhm.
Like it's an adaptation.
That's nice.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I
I don't
mean,
know. That stuff kind of bothers me sometimes. But
the silver lining is they can just read the manga.
exactly. And like
I
at the end of
will
the day, One Piece is a manga first. Like it is a comic series first. And Oda's never thinking like, this is going to be animated. I should probably do something else. It's like, no, he's doing this because it's a comic. Like,
No,
Yeah.
he has done that sometimes with some
Oh,
pacing.
oh,
Ah.
He
Well.
did like change some pacing in Wano to fit with film Red.
oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
But we'll see.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully it's not distracting.
It's not too bad, no.
Okay, I've seen series that do that is distracting, so
Yeah.
we'll get there.
But I will ask then. Okay, so what are your predictions?
Oh gosh.
I got one.
What do you think is gonna happen next?
Luffy is going to punch Doflamingo.
Okay, put that in the middle of the bingo card.
That's the middle of the bingo. Just maybe.
Oh wait, I got another. Can we put this one in the middle? Like Sora and Zanji are just gonna have like wicked sex in the like the
No!
thousand
He's not
suns.
even here.
He's not even here.
Like Law will
Fan
use like the
fiction.
room fruit thing and make him
Oh,
like, here, I'm
yeah.
teleporting your
God.
lover to you, Zoro.
He tells him to get a room, and he makes them a room.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of
This is
course.
some fanfic material here.
Oh dear. Oh. Hmm. Do you have any realm? I'm thinking for a second.
Yeah. I am. I feel like someone has to get a power up
Power up.
because
Zoro.
Zoro maybe. Well, I was gonna say because Usopp got like a glimpse of hockey,
That's
so like I feel like
true.
someone has to increase the tempo of like, you know, high tense situation requires, you know, newfound strength type of.
I can see
That's
that.
true.
Yep,
And this is
is.
also like the first villain we faced in the New World who's like actually a threat, because like Cody Jones was like a
Yeah.
goldfish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
both the last
Caesar
two
Clown was a
villains.
clown.
He
Yeah,
was
both the
annoying.
last two villains were just to establish how powerful Luffy has gotten. Now it's to
Yeah.
establish how like powerful the world has gotten.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I'm really hoping that Rebecca gets a bit more, but
Yeah.
I'm not holding out hope too much. Like I feel like maybe they'll have like a last, you know, like go get him, Luffy. Like kind of like Rebecca's like cheering me on. I gotta do the thing, you know. Kind of
Yeah,
like
I think with
she's
the
like the
theming of like Oda already being like she is kind of like not supposed to be the one who fights. She's already kind of out.
Yeah.
yeah. It's too bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Which I
I
feel
could
like it would have meant a lot more if she had fought with her dad and they had helped each other. Like, wouldn't that have been awesome? Like father and daughter
yeah,
finally
like
would
all
able to
that
have
be
been.
training
together.
has like paid
Oh,
off.
you
Like
know what
yeah.
we haven't talked about is that
Oh yeah.
Koala is like a character again.
Oh yeah. It was like blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, Koala
Right,
is there.
Yeah.
Koala is the girl that
Oh yeah,
Kinbei took in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the little girl. Yeah,
Yeah, now
that was
she's
cool. I don't really
fighting
know
with the
how it
rebel.
Now she's a
connected to everything. I
revolutionary.
was like, huh, wait, what? Like, how would that's such a coincidence?
Yeah,
But
she's a revolutionary and she's hanging out with Sabo and
Yeah.
she's like, you know, his Nami.
yeah,
Yeah, she's like, stop getting into trouble, because then I get scolded.
I thought it was cute. I
Yeah.
was wondering why they knew each other, but like, she was like, oh, Robin. I'm like, wait. I was like, oh yeah, she was with them
Yeah,
going
Robin
on the
was the
time skip.
revolutionaries, which
Yeah.
probably means Robin knew Sabo was alive and just didn't tell Luffy.
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't know the context. It's very interesting. That's always interesting. 'Cause it's like, you know, we know backstory to Luffy, but do they? Like, does Luffy share that kind of thing with them? Like, I wonder.
I feel like actually Robin knows a lot of things and just doesn't tell Luffy because
Yeah.
she's like,
This will be a
he
great
probably
scene for the
wouldn't
manga
remember or
readers.
care.
He won't remember. Yeah, or he'll find out
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be a
Or
badass
she's
moment if we don't tell him right now for later.
yeah, because technically, like, we have no confirmation that like Robin has even told Luffy her backstory. Like, we saw it in a flashback,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean she actually said anything.
Yeah,
Mm.
we don't know.
Yeah, it's very particular circumstances where like they are being explained the backstory,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, like in Nami's case.
And
like,
even
that
then,
was
Luffy's
very
like
much-
asleep for some of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luffy doesn't care
Fell
though. If he
asleep.
just believes in people, he believes in people. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't need their sob story. He knows they're cool.
Because he doesn't need their Sabo story.
So. Oh, God.
Ah!
I
Got him.
think my prediction is that Law is going to rearrange Doflamingo's organs, but it's not going to do anything because he's made of string. So then Luffy will punch him in the face.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Or he'll just rearrange, like, the floor. I don't know. To make him fall. I don't know.
No.
Trips and breaks his ankle. Like,
Yeah! Oh, God, I can't keep going on.
I've
We
fallen
did
and
it.
I can't get up.
My friends are counting on me.
My
I
friends
can't
are-
give up.
Can't give up. My family.
My family.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I also like that Luffy's wearing like a sunflower shirt thing. It's funny. It's cute.
yeah, I like his slightly different outfits every arc.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's like they remember that people wear multiple outfits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. They don't just wear the same thing every single day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they did have different outfits on Punk Hazard too, because they were wearing the
Yeah.
winter clothes, but then it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Also,
Because
one
he took
little
it off right
prediction.
away.
I think probably the rest of the Doflamingo's family is gonna get more time. I feel like they've been like they haven't fought really. They've kind of fought a
Yeah.
little bit, but they haven't like
They've
had
been
their like
teased.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like
they
how
haven't
CP9
had
was
their like
teased.
their classic like each straw hat faces another bad, like one of the main bads, and then while Luffy's fighting the big bad, you know.
True.
So I feel like that will probably happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
What do you think is going to happen to Fujitora? Because he's still there.
Oh, he is
Like,
still
we
there.
still have an admiral here.
Wasn't he like, this isn't the? Well, he didn't say like this isn't the place to fight, but he was just like, this is not.
Because he kind of faced off with Sabo.
Yeah, he was telling everyone like we can't go fight Don Quixote right now. Or
Yeah.
sorry, Doflamingo. Because this is an situation with the
Yeah.
bird cage and everything. I don't know. I mean, it feels bad to say, but the Marines, maybe it's not a bad thing. Like, the Marines just usually don't do that much unless it's, like, one person. So maybe Fujitora will do something big, but because he has meteors. But overall, they don't do as much. Like, Smoker just got his ass beat in the previous arc.
Bro, Smoker has a pretty bad track record. I can't believe he got promoted.
I know. Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe he did something off screen. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the special peoples that I can't remember their names. Like
Sword.
Yeah, he's one of the swords. So maybe he will go do something.
Oh wait, that reminds me. CP0 showed up in this arc too, like very
you're
briefly
right.
at the start.
They did.
Yeah.
But it was so brief.
It was so brief. They look like weird masky people. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very start with Robin and Law and Usopp.
Yeah. Yeah, they're there, and then they left.
they're there.
But they were there to help Doflamingo lie about.
And then they kind of just left. But like, yeah, we have more CP agents.
Yep.
Cipher Pole agents.
Cipher Pole. It's a weird name.
Yeah, maybe we'll see like CP9 again in the future.
Probably.
Probably.
Since the Marines are all around.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
about it.
That's pretty good predictions for everyone.
Yeah, for
Pretty safe predictions. Okay, wait. No. What's your wild, like, never could happen prediction? What's your, like, Zoro kiss Sanji prediction? Because you guys just did boring safe predictions that, like, obviously this is gonna happen.
Oh,
Obviously they're gonna, like, face off and punch Doflamingo in the face.
that's true.
I got one crazy one, just
Okay.
based on information that I know. Well, not that I know, like that I don't know. Law might, if maybe Law will die. That'd be pretty intense.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of doubt it, but like I also have never seen. Like I don't know what happens to him after this arc because I've never seen fan art of like him outside of his outfit from this arc. I guess.
Okay.
So who knows? That'd be pretty intense if he dies. That'd be pretty crazy. I feel like it'd be a.
No,
I think I would have heard of it,
princess.
but yeah, who knows? It's my wild like whoa. That'd be pretty crazy if they kill another big character like that.
Yeah, or he sacrifices himself. Because didn't they say, like, one of the powers that Doflamingo wanted from the Ope Ope no Mi is, the Ope Ope fruit is, the power to give eternal life, but at the cost of the user?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. He gives it to Luffy. Game over.
He gives it to Rebecca because she hasn't done anything important.
She feels bad.
Neither Law nor Luffy kill Doflamingo or defeat him anyway. It's actually
Rebecca does it.
It's Rebecca or the king. It's Rebecca. Yeah.
It's Caribou. Caribou comes back.
Oh, yeah, Caribou
No.
Doflamingo's like, what can I hit you? He's like, I'm Logia.
It's his whole familia that'll kill him. That's the prediction.
Oh, that's a good prediction too, because it's familiar.
Yeah.
Or
Realize
something
that they're
crazy because the
manipulating.
Marines are still around there. I'm gonna say surprise Buster Call. Done.
Oh shoot. Oh,
Dressrosa is
Kind of
now.
solved. That kind of
that would
solved
kind of that would kind
Doflamingo's
of suck
problem.
the birdcage.
Sure, but maybe they really just wanted him out anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Build
if
up a
they shoot the
trail.
cannons and then the birdcage just splits up the cannonballs so that they just have shrapnel falling on them?
Ugh. Well, that is what happened with like the meteor that Fujitora sent down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause his strings are, I guess, coated with hockey or something because they're strong.
Shrug.
Shrug.
He, because I had watched Kill la Kill before I read this, he vaguely reminds me of that Nui Harime girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a
That's
lot
true.
better, but
He's also his own princess.
yes, he is his own princess.
He's his princess of his own world, too. It's just a princess arc, my goodness.
It is. Lots of princesses to save.
Mhm.
And do nothing.
Yeah. Law's the real princess. Don't believe in Rebecca's lies.
Doflamingo gets brain damage and sees the error of his ways.
Cortazal secretly survived.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Come back.
He's called
Comes
cortisol.
back as a secret-
Cortisol.
It's cortisol.
comes
It's
back as
Spanish
a
for
secret-
heart. Because
back as a
Law's
secret
the
admiral.
Heart Pirates. He named it after Corazon.
Yeah.
Because Spanish for heart.
Yeah.
And also, they're like, whatchamacallit? Doflamingo is doing that like thing where his officers are all like suits of cards. So it's Corazon, Diamantes, Diamond.
Yeah.
I forget. Oh yeah, treble.
It's like the
clubs.
clubs, yeah.
And pica,
Pika pika.
spade.
Yeah, because
Pikachu.
it looks like shininess, like the little diamond.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because Pika means sparkle.
I know, but Diamante is diamond, isn't he?
Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. Never mind. Wait, but is
I don't know
Pika part
Spanish.
of the? Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Is pica spade in Spanish? I don't know.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I used to know
See.
Spanish. I don't
Pika translates to
anymore.
Pika in Spanish.
Pika is Pika.
Oh no!
That's it.
Wait,
Pika, pika, pika.
wait, what?
Let's see.
Uh.
Probably not. Probably nothing. And I just messed it up.
No, I see one thing.
Uh-oh.
I guess it's like maybe a slang term for penis.
Oh no!
I'm not
Never
sure.
mind. Oh.
I can't tell though. It's
No,
somewhere.
no,
on
no,
this
no,
website.
no. Picas is spade.
Oh, Picasso. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades.
I
It's,
see. I see.
Yeah. It's corazones, diamantes, treboles, y picas.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're just named after the cards.